And we welcome you in to the Bullets Tailgate Show. This is Gettysburg College Football, Centennial Conference Football, as Gettysburg hosts third-ranked Johns Hopkins this afternoon from Shirk Field at Musselman Stadium. Gettysburg returning home after a 2-week road spell. For Family Weekend, Jake Ness, Brendan Hodges alongside you today as the 6-0 Johns Hopkins Blue Jays out of Baltimore come to town to face Gettysburg, who is still looking for their first win of the season here on Family Weekend. Brendan, it is a crisp fall day. It's getting to that time of year, crunch time in the season. It's been a tough spell for Gettysburg, and it will be by far their biggest test today.
Without a doubt. And you say it's been a tough spell, but we've seen how do I want to say this? Very slight improvements, especially from guys who have been called into service a little bit prematurely this season. Obviously, with Rocco Aptenor going down early in the season, Sean Clark has only gotten a little bit better and a little bit better each week, and that's all you can ask from a guy who was pushed into a role that you didn't think he was going to have to fill this year. And then you have the usual suspects on this Gettysburg team who are still performing at a high level despite the struggles they've had this season.
Yeah, we can start by highlighting one of those guys. Michael Zrelak has been the top rusher in the conference this year, leading the way in rushing yards by a considerable margin, averaging 92.5 yards per game. The second closest is actually the back on the other side, Jeff Schroeder, averaging 76.5 yards per game. And Zrelak has been one of the top weapons not only for this Gettysburg team, but the entire conference. And we saw that, a real breakout a couple weeks ago here against F&M.
Well, we did, and he's been consistent in his availability, consistent in what he's been shouldering in terms of a load. Close to 20 carries per game. We haven't really seen that. We know who the second back is. It's Landon Hunt, but we haven't seen him get as many chances as you would expect with a team that likes to run the ball as much as Gettysburg does. With that being said, Zrelak has been consistent. He hasn't scored a ton because he hasn't had many opportunities, but you would expect that when you get down to the goal line, he's going to be option 1A, B, and potentially C. And then you look at the receiving core that still performed admirably despite having the backup quarterback in there, Nickwan Sala and company. They're still viable weapons that this team can look forward to using, not just the rest of this year, but for a lot of these guys over the course of the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, and this is a young team. You know, Landon Hunt had a big week, 94 yards a week ago, and that was his career high. But this is also a tough stretch for Gettysburg where these young guys will be tested, which could be a benefit in the long term. They are in the second game of 4-game stretch where they are facing Carnegie Mellon, who they fell to last week, Johns Hopkins, Ursinus, and then Muhlenberg, all in succession. Those teams right now combined 19-5.
And the top 4 teams in a conference that is really tightening up at the top. You mentioned Johns Hopkins, undefeated at 6-0 and undefeated in conference play. F&M, 3-0 in conference play, the lone loss of the season. Muhlenberg and Carnegie Mellon right up there as well. And sniffing the top of that conference that's really going to tighten up as these last few weeks of the season come up and decide which of these teams is going to get that auto bye to the NCAA tournament and which team is going to be on the bubble looking at all these other clubs and programs from around the nation saying, are we going to be in that final 32? We're not sure, but we know the team at the top's going to be. And right now, the team at the top is the team in white that's warming up right now in Johns Hopkins. And I cannot begin to tell you just how fun this team is to watch, especially seeing them last year with some significant contributors out. We're talking Cole Crotty. We're talking Bay Harvey. That both of those guys are back, and they have taken this offense from Johns Hopkins to another level. And the defense is as good as it was, probably not better than last year, but as good as it was going into last year.
Yeah, they are the top offense in the conference, again, by a considerable margin, averaging 435 yards per game. Pretty solid on defense as well, the second best in the conference at 306 per game. This is a matchup that has been dominated by Hopkins in the long term, especially in recent memory. Hopkins has won the last 16 matchups between these teams. Last year, they were ranked number 22 in the nation, knocking off Gettysburg 51-7 at that time. The last time Gettysburg has beaten Johns Hopkins, that was back in 2007, a 41-10 win in Baltimore. just goes to show you the consistent dominance that this Hopkins team has shown. Last year, you mentioned how great of a team they were, ended up being national semifinalists, falling to Mount Union in the semifinals. But this is a team that we can probably expect to be right in that conversation again come playoff time this year.
We can expect it, and I don't think they are expecting anything because they have been tested this year. We saw a couple of weeks ago, we were sitting right here with Gettysburg playing Franklin and Marshall, I believe, and Johns Hopkins is up at Carnegie Mellon down 14 with 8 minutes to go. They come all the way back and win that game. It's a battle-tested team, it's an experienced team, and it's a team that's going to give you no ground. And we'll get to keys of the game after a little bit later when we get close to the kickoff. But if you're Gettysburg, your thought process has to be, nothing to lose here. Let's go for it. Kind of like we saw in that F&M game where they pulled out all the stops, and we can get into that a little bit more as we move forward today.
Absolutely, and they ended up pulling out that game 28-27, as you mentioned. Their closest game of the year by a considerable margin. They are 6-0, as we mentioned. Gettysburg, we saw them in that tight game against Franklin and Marshall here a couple of weeks ago. Went on the road the past couple of weeks, a 49-21 loss at Dickinson, and then a 44-20 loss at Carnegie Mellon. And they will hope to bounce back today, but it will be a very tough one, as we mentioned. But taking on, again, another thing, we talked about Johns Hopkins coming in ranked number 3 in the nation. The last time Gettysburg faced a team in the top 10, it was Hopkins in 2023. They were number 9 at the time. That was in Baltimore, a 49-28 loss for the Bullets. Last time they faced a team in the top 5, November of 2019, that was here against 5th-ranked Muhlenberg, a 44-3 loss in that one. But again, it just goes to show you not only the strength of this Hopkins team, but just the strength of the conference.
Strength of the conference and how the balance of power has kind of shifted in the conference, because it was for the longest time Muhlenberg's to lose. Over the last couple of years, it's shifted the way of Johns Hopkins, where they've been consistently ranked. Even in the year where Muhlenberg was number 5, I believe Hopkins at that time was ranked within the top 25, and they've just slowly continued working their way up polls, working their way up in terms of standing with the rest of Division III. And you saw them almost at their peak last year when they made it to the national semifinals, losing a close one to Mount Union. We talked to Ernie LaGrassa, one of the sports information guys from Johns Hopkins, who's up here today. And I asked him, hey, do you think that game could be played any differently? He was like, no. Our quarterback, who was the backup, James Brunello, played as good as we've ever seen him. And it's just you ran to a Mount Union team that was a buzzsaw that day. So you're seeing them at their peak or near it, and if they hit that at the right time this year, you could see them go a long way when the tourney starts.
We talked about how these teams stack up as a team in terms of conference ranks. We're seeing a lot of conference leaders on both sides in this game. We mentioned Michael Zrelak, the top rusher in terms of rushing yards. Jeff Schroeder on the other side, the leading rusher in terms of touchdowns. He has 12 of them on the ground this year. Bay Harvey is number 4 in touchdown passes. He's number 2 in passing yards, the Hopkins quarterback, at 15-28. So, again, a lot of firepower. So when we come back, we'll let you listen in to the Bullets Marching Band and their pregame show, and then we'll come back, get you keys to the game, and get you set for kickoff. This is the Bullets Tailgate Show on the Centennial Conference Digital Network.
Every story has a beginning. Ours is in a place where living history calls us towards an unwritten future.
Yours can too.
At Gettysburg College, you will receive a consequential education.
One that will give you greater insight into who you are,
what you want to accomplish,
and how you will define and lead your own consequential life.
It is here where you can live your promise.
It is here where you can do great work.
It is here where we can build a better world
together.
Exploding onto the field in a flash of orange and blue, it's the 2025 Gettysburg College Bullets Marching Band! Welcome, students, parents, alumni, and fans to Shirk Field at Musselman Stadium. The Bullets Marching Band is under the field direction of drum majors Dylan Eck and Will Hetzel. And now, put your hands together for the 2025 Bullets Marching Band! Performing with pride. A Gettysburg College tradition since 1909. We celebrate the glorious orange and blue. Let's get fired up for the Bullets Marching Band! Loyalty is not only an admired trait of Gettysburg students, it's the name of our college fight song. Clap along as the Bullets Marching Band forms the Big L and marches it down the field. If you know the words, we invite you to join with us as the band sings Loyalty. Next, we form the iconic symbol of Gettysburg College, the cupola of Pennsylvania Hall, while we play Gettysburg Triumphant. This march was composed by F. William Sunderman, the benefactor and namesake of the Sunderman Conservatory of Music at Gettysburg College. This week we honor Eris Hornan O'Reilly. Eris is a junior music performance major and is from Merrimack, New Hampshire. He's a third-year member in the band that also serves as the piccolo section leader. We thank him for all his hard work and dedication. He helps keep the band marching on. Eris will raise the Gettysburg College flag through the band and plant it above the cupola. Please help us honor him with a round of applause.
Thank you. All right. Thank you.
The Spirit of Gettysburg March, also known as the Gettysburg College Bullet Song, was composed in 1925 by Robert Fortenbaugh and Bertram Seltzer. This unique march celebrates the history and traditions of Gettysburg College. How about a big cheer for the Big G of Gettysburg College? Will all who are able please rise for the Gettysburg College alma mater and remain standing for the Star-Spangled Banner, our national anthem, conducted by Director of Bands, Dr. Russell McCutcheon. Once again, we perform Loyalty, the Gettysburg College fight song, as we march the Big G down the field. How about one more big round of applause for the 2025 Bullets Marching Band?
Getting back here with you on the Bullets Tailgate Show, another great performance by the Gettysburg College Marching Band. Of course, we'll have their halftime show for you at that point as well. As we get closer and closer to kickoff, both teams about set to take the field. We dive a little deeper into our preview of this game. Again, Gettysburg looking for their first win of the season. And let's highlight Sean Clark, who we mentioned was sort of thrusted into this role maybe a little earlier than he would have possibly expected with Rocco Abdenor. We saw his first start at home against Franklin and Marshall a couple weeks ago, and he looked sharp, had his flashes in that game, 12 of 23, 167 yards. He's gotten seemingly better and better every week as you look at the stat line. The yards numbers keep going up, career high 198 a week ago. And he's thrown 6 touchdowns, at least one in each of his 4 starts. So he is going to be the focal point of this offense.
I think we were just a little bit early. I think everybody's a little bit early today. But sticking with Sean Clark, yes, you have the 6 touchdowns there, Jake, but you also have the turnovers that come with a more inexperienced player. And you'd like him to cut down on those mistakes. Granted, he's, like we said, been pushed into this position that he didn't think he'd be in this year with Rocco Abdenor at the helm. But you take a look at what he's done. He's been serviceable, and you can call it a steadying force, I guess, because you don't know what you have behind him either. You just need him to play clean, especially in a game like this that can get out of hand in a hurry. One of these keys to the game, and I'll make a track analogy here, if you've ever watched the Olympics and the mile race, the 1,600 or 1,500, you got 4 laps, right? You got 4 quarters in a football game. Can you keep contact with the front runner? And let's use Hopkins as the example, the front runner here. Can you keep contact long enough to where they have to think a little bit more? And if you can do that, that's the recipe for an upset. You keep it close through 1, then 2, then 3. And you find yourself in a game in the fourth quarter where it's, okay, anything goes. We have 15 minutes. Whatever happens, happens. And more of the pressure then gets put onto the favorite in that game. Who knows how it's going to happen, if it'll happen. But we've seen Gettysburg throw some punches here in games that people don't expect them to win, and they've landed and caused the other team to think a bit, get out of their game plan, and make it a closer game than you'd expect.
Yeah, we can allude back to the Franklin and Marshall game a couple of weeks ago. It
Block
seemed
a
like
punt on the first drive of the game. They have a couple fake punts. You never know what a team is coming into a game with.
Absolutely, and they were able to frustrate them early and keep the game close. A week ago, for example, Carnegie Mellon, things sort of got away from them early. Second quarter especially, 24 points for Carnegie Mellon led them to a 31-0 halftime lead. Of course, they had kept it close in that first quarter. It's going to be a matter of the execution when they can. Of course, they were also able to frustrate Franklin and Marshall with a couple of trick plays, especially fake punts. We have to wonder what they have up their sleeve in this game as well. But that'll be interesting to see. The captains getting set to head to the middle of the field for coin toss. Of course, for Gettysburg, 4 captains, Rocco Abnor, Nate DiLorenzo, Patrick McCullough, and Michael Zrelak. Captains for Hopkins, Carson Bordeaux, Bay Harvey, Michael Nwosu, Jeff Schroeder, and Xavier Newell. They are ready to go to midfield as Hopkins takes the field now to the right of our seats here in the booth. Again, a young Gettysburg team, a guy we can touch on in the running game. We saw him score his first career touchdown a couple of weeks ago, Landon Hunt. He was actually the leading rusher in the game against Carnegie Mellon a week ago, 10 carries for 94 yards. Zrelak was actually held in check a bit in that game to just 21 yards, which really makes his stranglehold on the rushing lead in the conference a little bit more impressive.
And it makes you wonder if it's going to be more of a backfield, if you want to call it by committee, with 2 guys today. Because Landon Hunt, while he's a young guy, he's explosive and powerful. Runs a little high, if you ask me, but it doesn't seem to faze him because he likes hitting the hole hard and just getting upfield. There's not that much sideline-to-sideline shake, but he's just straight to the point. Hey, I'm coming at you, and see if you can stop me.
Talking about the youth on this team, we see it in the return game a lot. Gabriel Diaz has been a standout in the return game. Also, George Brannon, a freshman, will step in and get the start at defensive end today with Jake Dickerson out. So a lot of youth on this Bullets team, and that's something to look forward to in the future. They'll have a lot of guys returning next year, and you get early experience with this core together, facing some really tough teams. It seemingly can only bode well for you moving forward.
Well, experience is the only thing you can hope to get over the course of your 4 maybe 5 years in college, Jake. And they are going to have an experience today. That is for sure.
So both sets of captains at midfield. Gettysburg, of course, in their blue tops with the orange helmets. Hopkins in the white. We are just about set for action. Yeah, Jake Ness and Brendan Hodges with you. Gettysburg football on the Centennial Conference Digital Network. We are just about set for kickoff here on Family Weekend, a beautiful October afternoon, partly cloudy skies, 55 degrees, perfect football weather.
Also, consumption or possession of alcoholic beverages and tobacco products in the stadium is prohibited. Thank you.
So So Gettysburg, who deferred the opening kickoff, or the coin toss, will kick it off to Hopkins, and the top-ranked offense in the Centennial Conference will take the field first. Josh Moore and Griffin Semrod back to return for the Blue Jays.
Kicking off for Gettysburg, number 18, Nolan Kraus.
And it's a short opening kickoff, and it'll be fielded on a fair catch. LaRue Linder, one of the up men, taking that one. And here is the graduate quarterback, Bay Harvey, completing just under 71% of his passes this year, 1,528 yards, 13 touchdowns. It'll be an early test for this Gettysburg defense, who does get Ryan Weems back. He missed the game against Carnegie Mellon a week ago, a big name to look out for in the secondary. First and 10 from the 35. To give up the middle on the very first play, and it's only going to be a couple of yards for Jeff Schroeder.
Well, there's the aforementioned Ryan Weems back from a little knock he picked up. Filling the hole there, filling the alley on the run stuff. Hopkins, you never know what they're going to throw at you at the opening play. The opening play last weekend against Ursinus, they hit a big one with Cole Crotty for a touchdown here. They take the conservative route, pick up 2 on the ground.
Crotty, the offensive player of the week in the Centennial Conference a week ago. Now it's play action. With Harvey looking, he swings it out to the left to Schroeder, and he makes a man miss. He's across midfield and just shy of the 40-yard line.
Extension of the run game. I mean, Harvey's looking deep on this last play. You had Crotty down here to the near side running a 10-yard curl and a concept on the far side of the field. Saw nothing with Gettysburg dropping deep into coverage, took his check down, and Schroeder makes it pay with that much space.
To give on first down and 10. Again, Schroeder still on his feet as he reverses field right. He's inside the red zone. He's looking for the end zone, and he will be knocked down just short. The ball comes out, but...
Oh, they said he was down.
It is ruled down by the side judge. Gettysburg popped on, but another strong run by Schroeder, who is going to put Johns Hopkins in a dangerous position. And Schroeder, the leading touchdown scorer in the run game of the conference. He's got 12 this year. We'll see what they do near the goal line. Looking to make very quick work of this opening drive of the game. And it's play action, thrown to the back corner of the end zone, and it's a touchdown. It's LaRue Linder, the tight end. Gets his first touchdown of the year, and very quick work of the opening drive, just over 2 minutes. And Hopkins strikes first.
Oh, you run with Schroeder, and then it's that threat of the play action pass, especially on the goal line. You're not thinking play action first and goal. Harvey sells it, Linder sells it like he's blocking, and he just sneaks behind the defense, and he's wide open for the touchdown. And that is what you would expect from one of the best teams in the country, walking it down the field in a handful of plays.
Extra point is good, and it's a quick 7-0 Hopkins lead, and the tight end came from Linder. It was his first, and both of these Hopkins tight ends listed as their top two, LaRue Linder and then John Bechtel, not used as much in the passing game, but almost used to their advantage that time. Not the guy you'd expect to be out there running routes, and he slips into the back corner of the end zone.
Well, and it allows you to have guys that are eligible that can then just absolutely roll in the running game. When you have a guy like Schroeder in the backfield, the tight ends play a critical role in making sure that the run game is working. That was Linder's first career touchdown, by the way. It's a guy who's stepping up for this Hopkins team now because they had Cooper Leger last year. He was a big pass-catching target. He leaves for graduation. You have two guys behind him who are serviceable both in the run and the pass game.
4 plays, 65 yards in 2 minutes and 2 seconds. And now this kickoff will sail, bouncing in the end zone. It's a touchback. Gabriel Diaz, who is back this week, was back to return that one. And here comes Sean Clark in the offense. And Clark, steady improvements over his first 4 starts of his career. 198 yards on 16 of 34 passing a week ago. He starts with Zrelak to his right. Throwing on the first play, it's a quick out. He finds Matt O'Connor, his tight end, for a quick 5-yard gain.
Well, it's what we've seen from Gettysburg the last couple of weeks, getting him some easy ones, some layups to start a game off, get him comfortable.
Now they give to Zrelak from the pistol, and he's across the 40, quickly moving the chains. And Zrelak just 21 rushing yards a week ago. And now over the 560 mark for the season. Back to him again on second down.
Well, chains hadn't even set yet. You see Gettysburg's plan on this opening drive, again, similar to that Franklin and Marshall game. Get up tempo, get the defense on their heels, string a couple of first downs together, try and go down and score.
Now play action, reversing field to the left, and he underthrows his man. He was looking for Matt O'Connor. That was Carson Bordeaux, the safety in coverage that time.
Yeah, if you're Sean Clark there, maybe sell that fake a little bit longer. Xavier Newell and Browning Trainer were both sniffing it out a little bit. They saw the fake late, were able to make him throw off his back foot. And you're in a third and manageable, so that's good. But it stems the momentum for the moment for this Gettysburg offense.
3rd down and 6. Shotgun snap. Clark has to step up and take it himself. He's tripped up on the far side. They give him the first down, and he will have it.
A little underappreciated part of Sean Clark's game. He can run. He doesn't look to run all that often, but when he does, he's smart at finding the seam to escape, and you saw it there. Looking through his options, didn't have anything in the passing game, stepped through the middle and got just enough to cross midfield and pick up the first down.
Now a quick throw out to the right, in and out of the hands of James McCarron, and almost intercepted. That was Bordeaux again, the safety.
I'm thinking he's wanted that one back, all 3 of them. But maybe not Clark because it was the right read, a quick throw. It's just McCarron not often utilized in the passing game. It's off of his hands, maybe a little late and recognized the ball was coming to him. And then in such close proximity, Bordeaux just not able to get his hands up in time to make the play.
Gives to Zrelak on second down, but he runs right into the defensive line of Hopkins. Play called dead for a loss. 3rd down and 11 coming up.
Oh, and this is where Hopkins gets you. They push you into 3rd and long 3rd and known pass. And the secondary is so experienced. They lost some guys from last year's team, but they have plenty of experience backing them up too. And you see this 5-man shell right now, playing the sticks, waiting for anything underneath.
Clark rolling out to his left on 3rd down and 11. Now throwing down the far sideline. Jump ball for Diaz, but it's broken up. And again, it was Bordeaux who was right there.
It's the right idea from Diaz on the scramble drill. They're running curls right beneath the sticks, trying to make it 4th and manageable so they can go for it on 4th. But with Clark rolling out to his left right away, he cuts off half the field. Diaz recognizes it and decides to go deep. And it's just a great play by Bordeaux to knock that ball out of his hands. Young receiver maybe shows the hands late to keep the DB from recognizing the pass is coming.
Punt away. Robbie Enright will slip one tackle and cross the 25-yard line. Enright, the junior receiver, a few yards on that one. A bit surprising he didn't call for the fair catch, but was able to slip the first tackle. And again, after a very efficient, just over 2-minute drive, Blue Jays back out on offense. First down give to Schroeder. Falls forward for a few yards.
Nothing too crazy from Hopkins so far. They've looked deep. They haven't seen anything. They're taking what Gettysburg's giving them right now. And really in the early going here, when Karate's isolated on one side, you're seeing a safety roll over to him. Right now he's in a 2-by set here on the near side of the field.
Empty set for Harvey initially, and then he motions a receiver into the backfield who's got a first down. That is Josh Moore, the sophomore.
We were talking about him before the top of the show. We were speaking with the Hopkins staff up here. They think he's an explosive kid. He missed a lot of time last year. Another one of those guys that was kind of waiting in the wings for his opportunity. Played the first game against CNU last year. He's back this year. They say he's a do-it-all guy. He could be the next guy in a long line of talented receivers. And he's only a sophomore, a young guy that's only going to develop over the next couple of years.
Now looking into Cole Crotty, who's not able to hold on just across midfield. Cole Crotty, the junior, his first target of the day. Certainly will want that one back.
I mean, it's open there. Ball fluttered a tiny bit off of A. Harvey's hand, a little bit behind him, not hitting him at the top of his route. But yeah, still a catch that Crotty's going to want to make. But this guy, I mean, he's not going to be shaken by that.
Now the hard count will give Hopkins a free play. Harvey will let it fly, looking for Crotty again, and he makes the catch inside the 5, reaching for the pylon, and he's got a touchdown.
I told you, man.
Well, if anything, he made up for it right there.
It's going to be offside. The penalty's going to be declined, and this is what you do right after a guy drops a pass. You say, all right, let's go hard count, throw it deep to you, make up for it, and the way that it seems simple. It seems simple, but he's at the bottom of your screen. He gets by his guy, and then the way that he's able to restack, control the ball, and then fight, the fight through the contact to reach for the pylon. He's big, he's fast, he's just a weapon, Jake.
It's his 7th touchdown of the season. He had 2 a week ago against Ursinus as part of his Player of the Week campaign. Extra point. Up and good. And 14-0 Hopkins early on. This is what you've come to expect out of this Blue Jay team, and you alluded to it right as that drive started. They had been looking deep. It wasn't there for them to that point, but finally opened up karate in the deep game.
Well, they have it whenever they want. You can try and take it away. But at some point, the little cuts and the little nicks that this team can give you, whether it's Schroeder on the ground, even Harvey on the ground, or the short passing game, they throw you little things here and there. Then this is the touchdown to Karate again. This isn't necessarily open. It's just better receiver against a well-covered defensive back. Like, the coverage is there. He doesn't see the ball. Karate sees the ball. He makes the catch, and he's able to outfight him to the end zone. Talent can do so much for you, but when you have the execution that Hopkins has, plus that talent, it is a dangerous recipe for anyone they're going up against.
Kick is fielded on the far side of the field. And again, the Hopkins special teams getting to that return shy of the 25.
So this is where your Gettysburg's offense, you're really looking for a clock-churning drive that ends with something. And by something, I mean points. Because you got to midfield in that last drive, but you didn't take too much time off the clock. You give Hopkins the ball back. 3 plays later, they're back in the end zone. And that's what I'm talking about, keeping contact with a team like this. The longer you're able to do that, the more confidence you build as a team. But your defense needs a break right now just to get some things together and figure out a better plan of attack.
Drive starts with Clark in the shotgun and a quick handoff to Zrelak, who breaks one tackle, brought down again by Bordeaux, the safety, but not before he gets just shy of the 40.
Well, Zrelak finding some holes right now. At some point, you're going to think Hopkins is going to try and clamp down on that, and it'll open up these receivers on the outside. They're going to send Zrelak out into the empty package, though.
They send him in motion now. Once again, joins Clark in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. He'll get a few yards, falling forward.
Well, that's the same play we saw Hopkins run on a couple of drives ago, where they brought Moore in motion, moved him into the backfield, and run that little delayed handoff. So similar concepts from both of these teams, and a little bit less success on the Gettysburg side, but you'll still take 3 or 4 yards on first down. Stay ahead of the chains if you're Gettysburg. Give Sean Clark easy opportunities to get to these receivers. Hopkins corner is playing aggressive right now.
Handoff again on second down. Getting to the 45. Zrelak comes into this game he needed just 210 yards to get to 2,000 for his career, so a milestone that he'll be hoping to reach in his senior season, and they are certainly making him the focal point of the offense early today.
Well, playbook, I think, is open here. Because, yes, the secondary is playing up for Hopkins, but the front is not stacked right now.
3rd down and 3. Zrelak one more time. He's got it, and he's got space. Getting across the 40 before he's wrapped up.
Well, and that's what I'm talking about. You only have 6 guys in the defensive front there. 5 of them get taken up by the offensive line, and then Zrelak only has to make one man miss. If that box is stacked, you may think about passing the ball. And instead, you're able to hand it off to Zrelak, pick up a chunk play. But that's what you can have if you're Gettysburg. A negative play on first down, even in this end of the field.
Smith and Urquidy in on that stop. And Landon Hunt will step onto the field for the first time today.
Now you have a 7-man box with a tight end in the game.
They stay on the ground with Hunt. And Hunt keeping the legs churning. He gets to the 30.
He's just a gamer, man. Like, he just wants to find contact. I say it, he runs high, but he runs hard. And you see right there, he just decided, let me stick my nose in my offensive line's back, push him forward for a few yards.
The freshman from Woodbridge, Virginia has been integrated more and more over the last few weeks. Sets up another 3rd down and 3 for Gettysburg, who's been 2 of 3 so far on these 3rd down situations. And they stay with Hunt again. He's got the 1st down across the 25, across the 20, and falling down to the 17.
It's a run-first thing, man. And it's a similar game plan to what we saw a couple weeks ago. Hey, we're going to come right at you with the running game. If you can't stop it, then we're just going to keep doing it. Like, yes, these receivers are talented in the pass-catching game, but if you don't have to use them and you can bring more defensive bodies into the box, it gives those guys more space to work on the outside. And you see it here. 6 guys in the box, safety playing closer to the line of scrimmage, corners pressed up.
Clark drops back, throwing to the back of the end zone. It's caught for the touchdown.
Flag on the play. Illegal formation.
It was Gabriel Diaz who he found.
Legal formation. Offense. And 5 players in the backfield. 5-yard carry. Nice first down.
Let's see here. It couldn't really tell because we're starting right when the play is. I would assume one of the offensive linemen wasn't breaking the belt line to the center because the skill guys looked fine. And when it's a legal formation, they don't give you a number.
So that'll set them back 5 yards, back to the 22-yard line. Now 3 receivers at the top of the formation. They stay in the air. Low throw over the middle, but the pass is caught.
That is one heck of a catch from Nick Wansala. That was behind him going to the ground. A fingertip catch, really. And it puts you in second and manageable where you would have hoped to be if they hadn't had that touchdown called back.
Wansala, the team's leading receiver, his 27th catch of the year there. He had 5 a week ago. They stay with trips to the top. And they go back to the ground game. Landon Hunt. They'll get a few. Sets up 3rd down and manageable for the Bullets, who already down 2 touchdowns. You certainly would figure might be in 4-down territory early in this game.
I think they are here, especially on 3rd and 5. You know that you can strike here because you saw it with that play called back by penalty. Heavier personnel in here, extra offensive linemen. McCarron in the backfield is a hybrid fullback tight end. A lot of bodies in the box here, and 2-on-2 on the far side of your screen with the receivers.
They send McCarron to the other side, and they swing it out to him. He's fighting, gets to about the 10, but forward progress will stop him there, short of the 1st down, and brings up a decision.
I see the idea there. It's almost like that bubble screen, an RPO, where you have those 2 outside receivers trying to lock up their guys man-to-man and let McCarron sneak out the outside. And either the timing was off or the defense just played that really well, and McCarron only really able to pick up half a yard.
So 4th down and 4. Ball in the right hash. The offense stays out there. Now they have trips to the bottom of the formation. Still Hunt in the backfield with Clark. In motion, Wansala. Clark looking to the back corner of the end zone for Diaz again. And incomplete, out of bounds.
It's a tough throw for Clark to make there. When you see this again, he just runs out of space. I thought he was going to go to Wansala here on the little whip out. They ran him in motion, and then he was coming inside of the field, and he had a little space as he whipped back out. Clark decides to go for it all to Diaz, and it's not a bad decision. It's just the throw takes him out of bounds. A good drive for Gettysburg that you'd think would have needed points there. You come up empty. But some things to feel good about if you're Gettysburg, especially the way you ran the ball on that last drive.
We're able to churn a lot of time, too, and give the defense a chance to regroup. We'll see how it benefits them here as Hopkins comes back out in a quick handoff up the middle on 1st down. That was the first carry we've seen from Ty Pugliano, the junior running back.
Get a little two-back action for Hopkins now. It really showing off their depth of personnel, especially on this side of the ball.
They go back to Schroeder this time on second down, and he's chopped down.
It's little intricacies, though. I mean, that's a read option. Or maybe not be a read option, but it's setting up something for later. We've seen Harvey carry out that fake a couple of times now where, yes, you have the handoff, but then a blocker's coming around for Harvey if he decides to keep that ball. There are just layers and layers to this Hopkins offense that we may not see today because they haven't game planned it up, but that are there that other teams are going to have to think about as they move forward in this season.
Pistol set on third down and short. Handoff again. Schroeder fighting for it, and he'll get it.
Schroeder on the carry. Nate DiLorenzo and Justin Ryan on the tackle. Result of the play is a Johns Hopkins first down.
Play action. DiLorenzo almost got the strip sack. Instead, they're able to get the ball out to Schroeder, who is finding his way right around the first down marker. He'll get it. DiLorenzo got into the backfield, tried to knock the ball loose.
Yeah, he really did. He wasn't hiding the fact that he was coming here. And we're going to show it to you as the quarter ends. You're going to see him come off the edge, has him, and just hit it once. But that's the strength of Bay Harvey. Hold on to that ball with two hands and being aware enough to drop that ball off to Schroeder, who picks up another first down as we head to the quarter break.
14-0 Hopkins over Gettysburg. We'll be right back with the second quarter on the Centennial Conference Digital Network.
You can find all the team information as well as links for stats for both teams and Centennial Conference other useful information on our home for digital game programs.
Together, we are driven.
1, 2, 3.
To motivate. To challenge. To lead. Every practice. Every play. Every day. Every season. 11 schools. Together in competition. We are the Centennial Conference.
Back here with the second quarter of action. First down and 10 for Hopkins as they flip sides of the field. Two backs to the left off Harvey in the gun. They'll pitch to one of them going out left, and he is swallowed up. Ty Can got there for Gettysburg. And it was Brock Dandridge, one of the freshman backs, made the carry there. What a great job by Can stepping up there.
Oh, that's his job as a safety. To shoot through the alley, make the play. And it's these wide runs right off the bat that Hopkins hasn't had success with. Anything up the middle, they've found plenty of room for. Now you're going to see what their game plan is on second and third and longs.
Four receivers wide. Harvey throwing down to the far sideline, and catch is made right by the marker. That is Chad Martini.
I mean, that's a long throw, Jake. You're throwing that from the opposite hash, a 15-yard out. Probably a 30 to 35-yard throw, if you want to call it the way the crow flies.
Marker about a yard short, so third down and 1. For Martini, just his third catch this season, makes up the loss and more from the previous play. Start from the pistol, now the back motioned to the right. And he will get the ball and get the first down. Jeff Schroeder. Having a good game early on. Gettysburg controlled the time of possession in that first quarter, but the yardage, Hopkins, nearly 11.5 yards per play.
Efficient. And the big play had something to do with that, but even on that first drive, they were getting chunk after chunk after chunk. They haven't run too many plays either. Gettysburg had the ball for most of that first quarter. It's just they are a quick strike offense. Oh.
And motion up front.
There was a flag on the play.
Oh, I think Bay Harvey was hoping to get another free play there. But because none of his linemen moved and all of Gettysburg's linemen moved past them, unabated to the quarterback. Kill that play from the official's point of view. Yeah, like everybody jumped there.
So that'll bring them just shy of midfield. Again, a back to either side. As Harvey drops back, has plenty of time. Has all day, in fact. Now flushed out to his right. Harvey will have to throw it and swat it away. Rob Schultz was the one who batted that one away.
I mean, you talk about all day to throw. How long do you stand back there? 5, 6 seconds? Just sitting there in the pocket, waiting for something to come open. Gettysburg had dropped 7. There's nothing there. And then when the pressure gets there, it's the ability to escape and make things happen with his legs. I think he's trying to jump that ball off to Schroeder in the end, and great job by Schultz being alert to it and knocking the ball away.
Looked like it was Brannon who was the one who was finally able to break through and flush him out to the right. So 2nd down and 5 now. Man in motion as Karate joins the backfield. Play action, quick swing out to the left. It is Karate. Tries to find room on the sideline. He's pushed out of bounds. That'll move the chains again for Hopkins.
Oh, that's what Gettysburg was hoping happened with that McCarron play on the previous drive. Same sort of action. Get a guy in the backfield, motion down the line of scrimmage, and get it out to him quickly with 2 receivers in front blocking for him. Crotty able to split those 2 blockers, pick up the first down. The drive continues for Hopkins.
Two backs in the backfield. This time it's a give to Schroeder, who's cut down. That was Danny Brahaney, the corner, who was able to stop him. Just shy of the 40.
Oh, if there's one thing you can take away from the defense of Gettysburg today is we have an injured Jay on the field. It's the tackling of the defensive backs. Because when they've been called upon in the run game, they've been able to fill those holes and make the plays. Injured player, by the way.
Albie Cornacchio.
It's your starting left guard. The right guard, Garrett Brophy, already out today. Will Livingston is there in his stead.
Cornacchio off the field quickly. And Hopkins ready to get right back to it. Matthew Gilby listed as the backup for Cornacchio. 3 receivers to the far side of the formation now. As Harvey drops back, throwing to the far sideline. Pass is caught right by the sideline and knocked out of bounds. That's Robbie Enright.
Oh, Gettysburg's defense is showing pressure early because you had, I believe that was Ryan on one side and then Karpovich on the other, showing pressure off the edges. Bring 5. Harvey, though, with 5-on-5 in front of him, is able to pick out his receiver. And again, it's one of those 10 to 15-yard outs that he loves to throw, and he's hitting on it.
Inside the 30 now. Flag on the play. Harvey throwing across the middle. He's got Enright again, spinning down to the 10-yard line.
Harvey's pass complete number 11, Robbie Enright. There's a flag on the play.
Flag came in from the near side there.
Legal formation. Offense. 5 men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. First down.
I'm going to assume there was probably a tackle there, too, because the skill guys all looked good.
The same penalty that negated a Gettysburg touchdown negates a big gain for the Blue Jays that time that would have gotten them in a goal-to-go situation. So 1st and 15 now, pistol set. Play action. Harvey going right back to it over the middle. Jump ball knocked away. He was looking for more.
And I think Gettysburg fooled Bay Harvey a little bit here because you had a guy over the top of Josh Moore and Ryan Weems sniffing an interception there underneath of that route. But Harvey thought he could thread that ball, and it really floated on him a little bit, I think. So look here, Weems sitting in the middle of that coverage, Moore coming up the seam, and Weems had eyes on that ball. Because he was either going to get it or he was going to knock it down, and it was the latter that ended up on that play.
Ty Can in there as well on the coverage. So 2nd down and 15. Harvey with time, throws to the sideline, pass is caught by Schroeder, who cuts it back in. He's across the 25 and down to about the 22.
Oh, that time Gettysburg dropped 8 and rushed 3. So they let Harvey have the time, covered up everything deep, goes to his check down, and let Schroeder do the rest. And this is just methodically moving the ball down the field, taking up the clock.
Harvey looking to throw, throws across the middle again. He finds his running back Schroeder.
Harvey's pass complete to Schroeder.
That'll move the chains. To the 17-yard line. Harvey last week eclipsed the 1,000-yard rushing mark for his career, just the 2nd quarterback in school history for Hopkins with at least 5,000 passing yards, 1,000 rushing yards.
Oh, you see his game, though. He doesn't look to run. He's looking to dice you up through the pass. Oh,
Pups
boy.
once throws to the back corner of the end zone and wide open. That is Crotty for the touchdown, his 2nd of the day.
Oh, that was a perfectly ran sluggo here from Cole Crotty. Watch this. Cut inside, Tullis bites, and you could see him get turned around there, and Harvey saw it right away. That is a connection that you will be seeing a lot the rest of this year, Jake. Wow.
2nd consecutive week now for Crotty with multiple touchdown catches. Extra point is up, and it's good. It's 21-0 Hopkins after a touchdown drive that was a bit more methodical than their first two, but the result is the same in the end.
I mean, this is just, that's nasty, Jake. you get a guy leaning, you're so worried about him beating you inside because you're within your own red zone, and then he cuts back outside. That quickness of movement, he just catches JT Tolis off guard. Whew.
That's coming up at the start of halftime this afternoon.
He can beat you deep. He can beat you through the middle. He can beat you in so many ways, and Hopkins is beating you in all facets of the game right now if you're Gettysburg. 10 yards of play. Efficient. They've only had the ball 11 minutes. They've scored 21 points.
Kickoff fielded at the 10. It's Diaz who has room up the middle, and he gets to the 35 before he's brought down. Gabriel Diaz, who has been a standout in the return game all season, the freshman.
Oh, and it's earning him more time on the offensive end, too. We've seen him targeted a couple of times in the red zone by Sean Clark. He obviously trusts him. And that's what happens when you have a backup quarterback in there. He's a guy who's worked with the twos since the start of, mid-August into September. He knows him better than any of the other quarterbacks would. Why wouldn't he trust him? He's going to be a good one. Kind of like Wansala was last year. Freshman coming in, making some plays through camp. And then late in the season, Diaz is that guy this year.
Back to Zrelak on first down, gets about 4. Coming into this game, Diaz, 15 returns, 361 yards. That was 4th in the conference so far this season. As you said, getting involved a bit more on the offensive side as well. Caught the eventually negated touchdown on Gettysburg's previous drive. Back to Zrelak again, but this time he has nowhere to go.
Will Seibert makes the stop for the Blue Jays. That's a loss of 1 yard. Third down.
Well, not necessarily known pass here. Down 21 at this stage in the game. Close to midfield. If you get a few here, I might consider going for it. You can pull a trick out of your bag if you've got any from this past week of practice. That's a false start.
There comes the flag.
Well, we'll see here. I would assume they're going to get Wansala here because he was looking inside and saw the line jump. Yeah. If it was the offensive line that moved there, I would think the officials may call offsides. But with Wansala on the edge moving there, that's going to be called a false start every time.
So moves it back to 3rd down and 12. They stay with the same trips bunch on the bottom side of the formation. Clark looking, has to throw over the middle, catches May. That is Field that time, who gets some of the yardage back. But the punting unit comes out for the Bullets. Jackson Field, who caught his first career catch last week against Carnegie Mellon. Gets that one there, but not enough for the Bullets, who will punt it away. We fielded at the 25. Spinning away from one tackler and across the 35. Alex Orecchio, a freshman, on the return that time.
Scott Seymour will stop for Gettysburg.
Taking a look at some of the offensive stats for Hopkins. Bay Harvey, 10 of 13, 161 yards, the 3 touchdowns. Schroeder, 57 rushing yards on 7 carries. And, of course, Crotty, the 2 touchdown catches. Set up shop here at the 37. One back, motions out. It's play action. Harvey will let it fly again. He's got a man. It's Crotty who makes the catch inside the 15.
Well, that is the exact play that Hopkins ran to open the game last week against Ursinus. Play action fake, and Crotty wide open down the middle of the ball field. Ball floated up there a little bit. That's more on a line. Maybe he scores his third, but if you're Bay Harvey, you'll take whatever you can get. Look at that. Long fake. Crotty's going to come open. Top of your screen. Moon ball down the field. And Crotty having to slow up to make that catch. But another explosive play for this exceptional junior receiver.
On the 14 now. It's a give and swallowed up. That was Pugliano who got the ball that time. Alex Estes in there as the Gettysburg defense was all over that one.
They decided, let's run blitz here. And that's another one of those long mesh points where maybe it's a straight handoff, but Harvey is holding it a little bit to see if the guys back off. Instead, you lose a few yards, but when you're as explosive as this offense is, losing 4 yards isn't the worst thing. It gives you more space in the red zone.
Pugliano stays as the tailback in the pistol on 2nd down. Quick play action, quick roll throw is caught on the far side of the field. That is John Bechtel.
Harvey's pass to pick number 8, John Bechtel.
Sets up 3rd down at the 11.
John Bechtel on the catch.
Look over to the sideline for the play here. And again, the pistol. Play action. Harvey rolling out to his right. Now he'll tuck and run. And he's inside the 5.
Did he step out short there?
We'll see where they mark him.
About a half a yard short.
Offense will stay out there, however.
It's 4th down.
Gettysburg trying to rush a substitution. As Brannon checks back into the game. 4th down and short. Shotgun formation. To give up the middle, and he will be stopped short. Pugliano takes the carry, and it's Schultz who got in there. He's fired up, but there is an injured Blue Jay.
Well, let's take a look here. They're trying to pull a guard, run power, and it just doesn't hit. Gettysburg fills that hole right away.
Schultz actually came out of the bottom of that pile with the football.
It doesn't matter anyway. Pugliano was short. And now you're concerned if you're Johns Hopkins is Charlie Pearson. Start right tackle. One of the vocal leaders on this team, too. He was running the warm-up huddle before this game started.
Pearson, the senior from Rumson, New Jersey, is back to his feet, and he's greeted by his teammates who will help him off the field.
That's an important stop for Gettysburg's defense in the red zone there. Because you deferred the kickoff. 4.5 minutes to go. If you can go into a 4-minute offense, score here, and then get the ball back out of the half, you have at least some semblance of hope. Hopkins scores there. They may be too far ahead of you already. And
still a tough spot as this drive will start on the 5. Shotgun snap. Clark trying to throw down the far sideline, juggled and incomplete. He was looking that time for Wansala.
Clark's pass, incomplete, intended for Nick Wansala.
It was David Hullall.
It's a pretty good ball from Clark there, and Wansala was going up, locked up in man coverage with Halal. And that's just good on good. And Wansala juggling that ball with his right hand, unable to bring it in. Sean Clark here, it's a good ball, but don't get too confident here. You don't want to give the ball away this late in the half.
Handoff on 2nd down. We'll lose him a few. So it brings up 3rd down and long.
Well, how confident are you in these receivers now to pick up 1st down yardage? Or do you just say, hey, get something to get our punter out of his end zone? Because right now, he'd be standing with the usual shield punt formation right at the back of his end zone, heel on the goal line. Or excuse me, on the end line.
Clark will step up. He'll take it himself, and he's tripped up.
A flag on the play, too.
Clark on the carry, there's a flag on the play.
It gets to the 12. Again, we'll wait and see about this flag.
Hold. Offense, number 66. Penalties decline. 4th down.
So at the very least, as you alluded to, gives a little more breathing room on the punt for Van Arsdale. Just a few yards into the end zone now. Gets the punt away, and it's fair caught, falling backwards. That was Robbie Enright who fielded at that time. It'll be at the 49-yard line of Hopkins as they start what could potentially be their final drive of a pretty electric first half of offense. Sans the Gettysburg stop on the previous drive. Drive starts in the pistol with Harvey looking to throw, going downfield again, and the pass is in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, who is going for Josh Moore.
Well, this one didn't fool Bay Harvey because this is cover 2, and he picks the right guy. It's more between the two safeties. And again, this ball is just lofted a little too much, and it allows Ryan Weems to get there and make a play on it. Otherwise, Moore's probably got it, and if not a touchdown, possession inside the 5.
You stay with 3 receivers to the top of the formation as Harvey looks to throw. Now he steps up in the pocket, trying to reverse field right as he tucks and runs, looking for the sideline. He's out just a couple of yards short of the marker.
Harvey keeps it.
And Harvey on the keeper makes something out of nothing there. Sets up 3rd down and short. There's a little bit of the legs that we haven't seen on designed runs. We've seen the athleticism when he's moved out of the pocket. The first time we've really seen him tuck and run there. They go back to the pistol. 3rd down and 2. And it's a give. Schroeder has the first down, bounces off one tackler. And he's down to the 37 to move the chains again.
We haven't really talked about this too much. Schroeder, a very patient runner. You saw it there, and you see it a little clearer from this point of view, where he stops a bit, reads the blockers, feels his way around them, and finds a seam. He's done that a couple times, and while it doesn't end up in too many explosive runs, it gets him enough for a first down. And that's all you can really ask for in a back who is a dual threat, running and receiving out of the backfield.
Last week, Schroeder crossed the 2,500-yard career mark for all-purpose yards, 2,000 rushing yards. That was in the last game. As we reach the 2-minute warning, we'll have the final 2 minutes of the first half on the other side of this break. Hopkins 21, Gettysburg nothing. This is Gettysburg football on the Centennial Conference Digital Network.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
First down and 10, quick swing pass to the left, and it's Crotty who gets inside the 30. Back after the 2-minute warning. Another quick hitter for Hopkins there. So 2nd down and 2. Harvey drops back, throwing deep, looking for more again. Catch is made, and he will be stopped just shy of the end zone.
Harvey's pass complete to number 4, Josh Moore.
Well, that time, Moore able to make the catch over the middle. A little upset he didn't get into the end zone, but it's going to get him all the way down to the goal line. And this is just man on man there. Crosses the face of the defender. The ball a little bit behind him. If it's in front, maybe he gets in. But Josh Moore finally making an impact in the passing game. We've seen him run the ball once. Now we've seen a deep catch for him after a couple of misses between him and Bay Harvey.
Give to Schroeder, and he walks into the end zone. Centennial Conference leading 13th rushing touchdown of the year for Schroeder. And Hopkins, with under a minute to go before the halftime interval, have a chance with this extra point to extend the lead to 28-0.
Well, Schroeder up there as well in the national rankings coming into this week, tied for 3rd with a handful of guys.
Kick is up. The kick is good, and
you want to guess who tops the rushing touchdown list nationally, Jake Ness?
Going to guess that it is the historic performance from Monty Quinn
it is, yeah.
a week ago, and we had to touch on it eventually. Monty Quinn from Curry College,
man. Oh my
522 yards on just 20 carries.
I think I did the math when the day after that happened. His 5 touchdown runs combined for like 300-something yards. So as we get the touchdown from Schroeder here, who is not quite on that pace today, but is still doing very good work for the Hopkins Blue Jays. Got Monty Quinn, man. That was it's 20 rushes, so about 300-something yards on 5 carries, and then another 200 on the other 10 or 15. That's still a pretty good day, however you slice it, one or the other. 17 rushing touchdowns in 6 games for him. You think he's going to be up for the Gagliardi at the end of the year?
I think it's a pretty safe bet. Here is the kickoff, fielded at the 7-yard line by Diaz. He'll try to cut it up to the right. He's brought down at the 20. That was the record not only for just Division III, but all of NCAA, any division.
And that's probably going to stand for a while because the record before that was in the 300s, I believe. Was Samaje P-Ryan?
It was 427 yards for P-Ryan.
Okay. Yeah, 550 something's going to stand for 522 is going to stand for a little while because I don't know if there's any back without a defense out there that could run for probably more than 300 in this day. It's too much passing, you know.
Clark in the shotgun. Quick throw and not on the same page that time with Roscom.
Well, the rushing game has been what's Gettysburg's bread and butter. They've been effective with it today. 6 yards a carry. Passing game, meanwhile, hasn't really gotten off the ground. You thought you had something on a drive earlier in this game where you thought you had a touchdown, gets called back due to penalty. Other than that, Sean Clark, 4 of 10 now for 18 yards. It has not been a good day for this quarterback and for these receivers.
Still staying in the air. This one incomplete. Might have been underthrown that time as he was looking for field on the far side.
Not underthrown. It's just it's right at Jackson Field. It's just that Carter Hogg is underneath that. He didn't see the ball. It basically hits Hogg in the back. But his responsibility is taking him to the flat where Field is. There's no other underneath route. He can drop a little bit deeper, and he makes the play without even realizing it. Now you haven't really taken time off the clock.
37 seconds left in this half. 3rd down and 10. And they will give the ball. This time it's Dylan Beinelman who's stopped at the 25.
Evan Hopkins takes a timeout. 30 seconds is an eternity with 2 timeouts.
Especially with an offense that we've seen can hit you very quickly. Coming up at halftime, as always, we'll listen in live to the Gettysburg College Bullets Marching Band performance, 2025 halftime show entitled Mr. Worldwide and Beyond, featuring the music of Pitbull. Coming up at halftime, and then after that, we'll wrap up some first half stats and look into the second half. But still 33 seconds to go here.
Well, if you want my first takeaway from the first half is that Johns Hopkins is as advertised. And I understand this isn't a Gettysburg team that's necessarily at full strength and hasn't been all year. But when you are a team that is ranked as high as Hopkins is, the goal coming into a game like this is to dominate, and that is what they have done. Minus a few moments here and there where Gettysburg has made some mistakes, but that also is the difference between great teams and everyone else. They don't make the mistakes, and even if they do, it doesn't hurt you because you're able to make up for them. We saw the first one, Crotty with a drop on their second drive of the game. Crotty makes a big play. Literally the play after that. Penalty, no big deal. Let's pick it up. Get stopped on 4th down. Hold Gettysburg inside their own 20, force them to punt, get another score.
Punt by Van Arstel that time, fielded by Enright at the 35, and he will be brought down as he crosses the 40.
Enright on the return for Johns Hopkins.
So 23 seconds to work with. Blue Jays in this first half, 34 plays, 340 yards, exactly 10 yards a play on the dot. For Gettysburg, 28 plays, 116 yards. Most of that coming on the ground, 98 of them. It's been mostly in the air for Hopkins. 254 in the air, 86 on the ground. Shotgun formation. First down and 10. Harvey, quick throw to the sideline. Pass is caught and spinning out of bounds. Again, that's Enright.
Moves you up to midfield, another one of those, and we'll see if Hopkins opts for a field goal or pass into the end zone. But not mailing it in for halftime just yet.
All right on the midfield stripe. Harvey dropping back again. Thrown to the far side and on the sideline. Catch is hauled in by Chad Martini.
2 plays just outside the 30 and still 12 seconds and 2 timeouts. The entire field is open here for Bay Harvey. He can go over the middle if he wants. The receiver just has to get down, and they got to get a timeout. And I can assure you, Hopkins knows that. They are a well-drilled machine.
Harvey still staying in the air, throwing to the sideline again, and it's Enright who will move the chains. Down to the 23.
7 seconds now.
But first they will call a timeout and think this over. You presume you either have a chance for a quick hitter and a field goal, or you just air it out one final time.
I mean, with 7 seconds, I mean, most plays take 6. But the way this offense is run, it's a lot of deep outs, and those take a few extra seconds to develop. It's not necessarily a throw. It's got to be a throw on a rope. It can't be lofted all that much because a second could run off the clock. You never know. So I think the conversation here is like, okay, guys, we're either getting the end zone here or we're kicking a field goal. What do we think is going to be wide open? I mean, Dan Wadica only in his 2nd season. He's at the helm of one of the premier programs in the country, and he's got the attention of all of those guys out there. They're looking like they're going to go.
Chips, candy, or soda, and support the Gettysburg College softball team.
I mean, if you think you can get another 10 yards in 15 seconds or in 7 seconds, I'm all for it. I mean, up 28, what's going to hurt you? Nothing. Well, a turnover might, but Bay Harvey has kept control of the ball all day. Safety shaded over Enright right now. You can see him looking at him.
And it's a keeper for Harvey, who spins forward. He's down, and
well, they got the timeout in. I think he said, all right, let's set up the kicker.
Ball's on the left hash. They center it a little bit more. The crowd is not happy. They saw the 0 up on that clock.
Well,
the clock will reset to 2 seconds.
And there were 2 seconds left when he went down and Wadica called that timeout. He was right next to the side judge there. But this must be where Brad Paxton likes the ball, just inside the hash, because Harvey was looking to get there.
Paxton 6 of 6 on field goals this season. The sophomore led the nation with 13 made field goals a year ago. He was the conference rookie of the year. This one will be from 37. final play of the first half. It's a low kick, but it is no good. Under the bottom.
There's a flag there,
of the upright, but there is a flag.
Well, Paxton was on the ground. I was watching the ball.
Personal foul. Defense.
Here we go. Roughing the kicker. Plant leg. Not his plant leg, but his kicking leg. It's Brahaney. It's a penalty. It's a flag. Even if you're diving for the ball, you cannot hit the kicker. So it'll be an untimed down, and he'll get another shot at it. Kick didn't seem like he hit it cleanly, though, Jake, did it?
Certainly not. We have the distance to the goal, which will move the ball to the 10. Which is going to make it a 27-yarder. This one, no problem, and 31-0 Hopkins as we go to the halftime interval. Brendan, just your quick-fire thoughts. We'll get deeper after the halftime show, but like you said, I think the best way to describe it, Hopkins as advertised in this first half.
Hopkins as advertised. Gettysburg's had their moments. They haven't capitalized on them. They got down to the red zone, had a fourth down shot to score. It missed, and didn't disagree with the play call. I thought you had to go for it there. And just defensively, they have not been barring the one red zone stop, they haven't been able to stop Hopkins. It shows you the difference in, yes, talent, but also execution between these two teams.
So we'll step aside. We'll be back with you in about 10 minutes. We'll take a look at first half stats, some scores from elsewhere as well. In the meantime, enjoy this week's performance from the Gettysburg College Marching Band, Mr. Worldwide and Beyond, featuring the music of Pitbull. Halftime score, Hopkins 31, Gettysburg 0. All right here on GettysburgSports.com, part of Centennial Conference Digital Network.
Now, entering the field for your halftime entertainment, it's the 2025 Gettysburg College Bullets Marching Band.
Bada bing, bada boom, Mr. Worldwide as I step in the room.
Mr. Worldwide and the Bullets Marching Band are here in this room. This year's show is titled Mr. Worldwide and Beyond. Let's turn up the heat, feel the rhythm, and get ready for a show that's all about giving it your all. From the hottest hits to the timeless anthems, get ready for a musical tour like no other. Put your hands together for the 2025 Bullets Marching Band. We kick things off with a fiery explosion of rhythm and energy. It's Pitbull's party anthem, Fireball. From dance floors to stadium fields, Pitbull reminds us to savor the now with Feel This Moment. It's a show where no one holds back. Get ready for Pitbull and Ne-Yo's Give Me Everything. From the first note to the final hit, this anthem brings unity to the field. Here's We Are Young by Fun. One last song, one final burst of energy. Join us as we end our journey with the Killers' iconic hit, Mr. Brightside. Cheer for the 2025 Gettysburg College Bullets Marching Band! Put your hands together and sing along as the band performs our college fight song, Loyalty.
I want to live a consequential life. I want to make a difference. Everything I learn at Gettysburg deepens my understanding of the world. and everywhere I go is a reminder that together, we can change it. The Gettysburg approach has given me a breadth of knowledge and the enduring skills I need to take my next step forward, and every step after throughout the entirety of my career. From my friends and faculty to my own personal success team, at Gettysburg College, I am surrounded by a community that believes in me and in who I can become. I will make a difference. I will live a consequential life. Because a great education lasts a lifetime.
Well, when you come into college and you immediately have a team, being around them immediately makes you feel at home. And you get an immediate friend group and a support group, and it really makes that transition into college easy.
You know, I didn't expect this kind of public support, from the locals, from classmates, even from professors.
My coaches and my teammates are always pushing me to reach new potential and to try new things. Communicating with people who are my role models, such as my coaches and my professors, and learning from them, I think that's a unique experience that you get one-to-one with as an athlete.
They really do want to see you do well in your sport, in the classroom, in life. That definitely lifts your spirits up, and it makes doing things a lot easier, whether it's on the court or in the classroom.
Coaches are always willing to help out. They understand that you're a college student first, you're here for academics first, and then your sport kind of comes second. You still get to be on a team and play at a very high competitive level, but it doesn't take over your entire life.
I am so happy that I chose D3 because it has given me the opportunity to meet incredible people such as my professors and mentors on campus.
In some schools, you're going to have to sacrifice one, either athletics or academics to do well in the other. And I feel like here in the Centennial Conference, you can really you could do both. You could be a great student and you could be a great athlete. What the Centennial Conference has to offer is unparalleled by anything else in the country.
The NCAA sponsors 90 national championships each year, none of which could happen without officials. There is an urgent need for sports officials across the country, as they are retiring 4 times faster than they are coming in, leaving shortages at all levels of sport. The NCAA recognizes the importance of officiating on the student-athlete experience and is dedicated to the recruitment and retention of new officials for all sports. There are many great reasons to become an official. Stay in shape and get paid to do so. Meet new people and build relationships within a tight-knit community. Give back to the sport you love by creating a fair atmosphere and upholding the integrity of the game. Say yes to officiating. Visit ncaa.org/say yes to officiating for more information on how to get started.
How to know if you should reach out to a friend. Your friend might be worried, sad,
grumpy, angry,
stressed, weird, rebellious,
anxious,
antisocial,
lonely,
sleeping less,
sleeping more,
eating less,
eating more. Look, there are a lot of things to watch out for, but you know your friend best. So if they're not acting themselves, why not say something? Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org. Awkward.
Today is the beginning of a bright new future for this country.
Won't live a life on my knees.
The voters are coming.
Back here at Musselman Stadium. Hope you enjoyed our halftime show with the Gettysburg College Marching Band. It's 31-0 Johns Hopkins here over Gettysburg. Before we get our second half kickoff, Brendan, let's take a look at what else is going on around the Centennial Conference today.
Well, in the Centennial Conference, pretty close one between Carnegie Mellon and Muhlenberg. That's a 23-21 game halfway through the fourth. At halftime, F&M leads Ursinus 28-7. And there's a surprise here. Second quarter, McDaniel leading Dickinson 7-0. On to ranked action, we obviously know Johns Hopkins is paying attention to the teams above them. Starting with Mount Union, they're up 17-0 on Ohio Northern. That's in the second quarter. And at last check, North Central was up 10-0 on Augustana. That was a 2 o'clock start. It is now 17-0 late in the first quarter. A couple of the big ones for you. One out of the CCIW, Wash U and Wheaton going at today. Start of the second. That's 14-7 to the Thunder. And then let me give you one more here. Familiar face to Hopkins, Salisbury leading Rowan 21-14.5. Familiar face to Gettysburg, Christopher Newport continuing their dominant run. They're undefeated. They lead William Patterson 35-7 at the half. Jake Ness.
Yeah, Christopher Newport came into this week ranked 15th. Carnegie Mellon, actually, the team right behind them, ranked 16th. And of course, Hopkins, number 3 in the nation, entering play this week on the D3Football.com poll, trailing only North Central and Mount Union. Taking a look at some of our first half stats for Gettysburg. Sean Clark, just 4 of 11 for 18 yards. Of course, had a potential touchdown pass ticked off because of a illegal formation penalty. Michael Zrelak, no surprise, leading the way in the rushing department. 11 rushes for 57 yards. Landon Hunt, 3 carries for 22. And for Gettysburg receivers sharing the 4 receptions. For Hopkins, Bay Harvey, the graduate quarterback, 17 of 21, 290 yards and 3 touchdowns. Jeff Schroeder leading the way with 64 yards on 9 carries and a touchdown. Crotty leading the way in the receiving game, 5 catches, 141 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Potentially looking to make it back-to-back Offensive Player of the Week performances for him.
You're going to have a hard time picking between him and Bay Harvey, that's for sure. We were talking to the boss man, Luke Stilson, and he made the astute observation, Harvey is just on time. And they run a lot of deep outs. He's getting it there, and he's getting it there on time to his receivers. His only misses, and the only thing I can nitpick is the ball, it lofts on him a little bit. It caused 3 of his passes to get broken up. The only other incompletion was a drop. You can't really bang him for anything. He's been darn near perfect all day.
So Gettysburg, who deferred our opening kickoff, will get the ball to start the second half. The run-up and the kick will be fielded by Diaz at the 1-yard line. And Diaz breaking through, and he's tripped up at right around the 30-yard line. So that'll bring out the Gettysburg offense, who in the first half ran 28 plays, 116 yards. They controlled possession early in the game, especially in the first quarter. Hopkins took that over a little bit in the second quarter, but we start with Hunt in the backfield on first down.
And not a lot of explosive plays that we're accustomed to seeing from Gettysburg, especially in the passing game. When you have a receiving core like this, you like to give them at least a chance down the field. We saw that with Juan Sala late in the first half. Couldn't come up with a ball. You wonder if they have something dialed up here, at least early, to try and back up this Hopkins defense.
The gift to Hunt, who bounces off of one tackle and moves forward for about 9 on his first carry of the half.
I mean, you have that in your bag. At 5 to 6 yards per carry, you've had that consistently throughout the day. In this day and age of college football, though, you see the difference between these two offenses. Hopkins able to push the ball down the field, Gettysburg unable to do so. And it's not like Sean Clark's been under pressure when he's thrown either. He's had some time.
He's in the empty set. Now he brings Hunt into the backfield. Quick drop, throwing for field, and the ball is knocked away. It's actually off the helmet of Halal, the corner that time.
Yeah, tight coverage from Halal. And a lot of hand fighting there between both parties, all of it fair. And Clark sees that it may be a little more loft on that ball down the field so that Field can have a better shot at it. That line drive throw right into the back of the DB, you're asking a lot of your receiver either to try and pin that ball to his back or to make a really contested catch and try and draw a penalty. In the end, though, it's 3rd and short. You feel pretty good about where you're at if you're the offense.
And we'll give to Hunt. He's got the first down and more across midfield. Breaks one tackle, and he's finally cut down as he crosses the 35. Kevin Ola was the corner that time. It was the last line of defense, able to cut him down, but a strong run by Hunt. Who's had 2 good ones to start this half.
Oh, and this is what he does. He just gets up the field, and now you're in plus territory, first time in a long time.
Stay with him.
Hunt on the carry.
Gets a few.
Kramer and Seibert on the stop for Hopkins.
The confidence that the coaching staff has shown in him has been more and more as this season's gone on. We saw him sporadically the first couple of games.
Yeah, for a carry here, a carry there, now you're getting a little more volume with touches. And it not only saves up Zrelak's legs for the end of this season, but it gets Hunt the touches and the experience that he'll need picking up the slack when Zrelak graduates at the end of this year.
Clark throwing, far side of the field, pass is caught on the sideline.
Clark's pass complete to number 4,
And that's Matt O'Connor, his second catch of the day.
See, and that's there. Clark hasn't had the opportunities to really do any of that yet. The concepts are there. It's whether or not they connect on them. It's the big question for Gettysburg. And, I mean, now you're back down in the red zone. You're 0 for 1 in this area of the field today. Can you get some positive vibes starting the second half?
Hunt carrying on first down from the 14. He'll get a few.
Moore and Kramer on the stop for the Blue Jays.
Gettysburg looking to start their second half on a high note. Three receivers at the bottom of the formation. Ball in the left hash. Clark rolling out, thrown to the back corner of the end zone. Jump ball, and it is a touchdown. It was Nick Wansala who was able to get that foot down in the corner, and Gettysburg has their first points of the afternoon.
Well, and this is what Wansala has done time and time again, is make difficult catches with his body really extended. You're going to see him run a bit of a corner here, cuts inside, then back out. And the ball almost takes him out of bounds, but he's able to get the foot down after high-pointing the ball. But well done by Nick Wansala. A good throw from Sean Clark, and a great opening drive of this second half for Gettysburg.
High snap, but the hold is down, and the kick is good, and Gettysburg on the board for the first time. A good drive in 3 minutes and 3 seconds to start their second half.
Oh, you call that the Landon Hunt drive, though. He got you down there, and Sean Clark finally able to find a couple of receivers in the passing game to get you on the board. But Landon Hunt, physical runs, explosive plays is what you haven't had all day if you're Gettysburg. You finally get a few. Is it too little too late after that first half? Maybe, and most likely probably. But it gives you something to think about going into the latter part of this season. Okay, who are these guys that we want to get more experience now? Clark, only a junior, going to be back next year, likely your starting quarterback. Hunt, number 2 right now, likely going to be the one in the backfield to come next year. And then Wansala, a sophomore who's been your lead receiver this year, going into his upperclassmen years as we see the touchdown pass again. Short rollout, and really it was the only option that Clark had there because O'Connor was covered up in the flat, and the intermediate route was going nowhere either.
An interesting note, you mentioned about getting guys experience as we move on. This was in our Hopkins game notes this week. Gettysburg, of the 52 players listed on their depth chart, 34 of them set to return next year. Here's a short kick that is fair caught at the 31-yard line.
Oh, that's a good point that you make there for Gettysburg. You wonder who that next core is going to be. The core of this team was largely lost due to injury, especially the seniors. You think about Luke Dennison, Rocco Abdenor as the two main ones. I mean, we haven't seen a guy like Edison Case. He's likely done for the season. And you've had sporadic injuries here or there to some of your younger guys, but they're back on the field. It's that next core that's going to carry on this program into whatever the future may hold. And you're seeing a lot of that out there on the field right now.
Hopkins back to it. Let's give on first down and 10. Running out to the right and gaining a couple is Schroeder. That is 10th carry of the game right there.
To gain a 4 yards, second down.
Quick throw to the sideline on first down, and their second down as Karate breaks it, and he's across midfield, just shy of the 35.
Oh, we've seen Karate beat you deep, and now we're seeing them beat you in the short game on the run and in the open field. That time shedding a tackler, I believe, that was Tyler Wells on the far side of the field. And he just steps out of the tackle and sprints downfield for another 20 or so yards. Every time he touches the ball, he's a threat to take it the distance. I mean, he's averaging over 20 yards per catch today, Jake. It's immense production that he brings you.
Airing out again, over the middle, wide open, and sliding down again, just shy of the goal line. It's Josh Moore. It's the second time we've seen him make a catch just shy of the goal line.
It's the fourth time that I think, as we have an injured bullet here, that Josh Moore thinks he should be in the end zone. This ball from Harvey is on a line for Josh Moore, and that's why he's able to fit it in between the two high safeties as we check the injured bullet. But here's that throw from Harvey. Again, long play action, Moore down the middle, and I think it's going to be DiLorenzo that you see coming over the right there. Going over the top of Moore after he slides to make that catch, who's down on the field right now.
DiLorenzo shaken up. We've seen a couple guys on each side have to receive some attention on the field today.
Oh, and this is another one of your senior leaders, a captain, and it's good to see him stand up. And, well, albeit limping off the field, but without assistance. You see it there, it's just like there's just a body in the way.
Like you alluded to, it's so many of the seniors, obviously Rocco Abdenor, Luke Dennison, now DiLorenzo. We hope that he is able to continue. If not today, the rest of the season. The clock resumes. First down and goal from the 2. Schroeder is in the backfield. He already has 1 touchdown today. Takes it again, and again he's in. Second touchdown rush of the day for Jeff Schroeder. Hopkins makes it 37-7 with the extra point to come.
On very little time as well. Again, just moving the ball down the field, big chunk after big chunk. And then you give it to your bell cow, Schroeder. 2 more touchdowns to his tally. stand towards the top of the national leaderboards and top the Centennial Conference in that regard.
Extra point is up, and it is good. And it's 38-7. Just listen to the time of possession on these touchdowns for Hopkins. 2:02, 132, then the 7-minute 28-second drive, then 2:30 and 150. It has been quick hitting, efficient, running out of superlatives actually for what it's been. But
well, it's machine-like, and you could say that machine-like is more that 7.5-minute drive that you referenced, but it is unreal just how they scheme their guys open. I mean, we've seen Josh Moore running free down the middle, a half a dozen times today, and they haven't connected on all of them. Really, those have been Harvey's only incompletions. They're not a team that's going to make a lot of mistakes. So when you do, you put yourself behind the 8 ball even further. We talked about keeping contact with a team like this at the top of the broadcast. It's easier said than done. Gettysburg's learned that the hard way today.
Diaz fields at the 9. Trying to shake a couple of tacklers, and he's brought down shy of the 30. So Landon Hunt, who was the star of last drive that was capped off by a Nick Wansala touchdown catch, he is back out there.
Well, I see his relax down on the sideline. He's got his helmet in hand. And you wonder if the coaching staff's just like, Michael, like, look, man, take a look at the scoreboard. We got this young guy. Let's get some touches off of your count. But we need you healthy for the long run. You're the lead guy for sure. We've got this freshman who is, for lack of a better term, fresh and ready to go. We're going to get him some run, and if we need you, we'll call for you.
Nothing doing on that first carry. Three receivers at the bottom of the formation. And they'll give to Hunt again. This time he's able to get a yard or two. Sets up a 3rd and long, and a couple receiver swaps for Gettysburg before this 3rd down play. Gettysburg 4 of 9 on 3rd down in this game. Clark throwing, and pass is incomplete. He was looking for Wansala that time with Halal in coverage.
And just a ball that's behind his receiver. And Wansala comes out of his break looking for the out on his outside, and instead it's thrown inside of him and the defensive back.
So this will be the 5th punt of the day for Van Arsdale.
Hello.
And it's a fake. Reversing field, trying to make something happen. The pooch throw over the middle, pass is caught. Did he get there?
That is one I have not seen before. He got there all right.
Scott Sable to Mike Bendowski.
So we did something similar to this, I hate to say back in my day, but we did it up the middle of the field, where you brought the shield guys up towards the front, and your personal protector, that middle shield guy, snuck up the middle of the field. Now, what are they doing here? There's a hat down for the official. It looked like Bendowski, but watch this. Sable, he looks like a quarterback here. Look at him get out of the tackle. There. Oh, the official down in the middle of the field. That's what they're talking about. Who needed some attention? The umpire got trucked by somebody. If we can get that replay one more time. You'll see it, but then just take a look at Scott Sable. Takes the snap, run. Okay, nothing there. And look at the wherewithal of Bendowski. Hey, let me come back across the field.
Joey Martin threw down a nice block as well.
Yeah, and there's the official getting knocked down. It was a Hopkins player that it's just inadvertent contact, but it's scary when a bigger person in pads runs into an official with no protection. But we talked about throwing some shots. If you're Gettysburg, hey, try some things out. You shift your entire punt team to the left side of the field. 3 guys running crossing routes over the middle. None of them are open. And your linebacker, reserve linebacker, throwing a pass. We've seen more than a few. I'm still waiting for the speed option punt, though, Jake. Still waiting for it.
Scott Sable has been a pretty prominent special teams player. We saw him against Franklin and Marshall a few weeks ago, be a key player on a few.
He was the runner on the fake punt, yeah. I mean, that's the fun stuff. Because special team coordinators have so much fun. I joke about all the different fake punts, but like they spend time thinking up these ideas. Like, what's crazy enough that'll work, but is still legal within the rules of the game? Because with that, you have to remember, your eligibles are on the edge and anybody that's off the line of scrimmage. So you have to coach these guys, hey, you need to be off the line of scrimmage. Everybody else on the team, you can't go downfield on this play. Otherwise, we have a penalty. And it does look like that official, the umpire, is okay after the collision, so that's good to see. Sonia Essis, I believe, was the one who fell to the turf. And somehow, throughout all that time, they didn't have to change that. Are they going to challenge this?
We're getting word, I think, that Hopkins is going to challenge that. Second game here in a row that we're going to see a challenge.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's anything that's going to overturn it because they're really just challenging the spot of the ball. Now, I don't think Bendowski had the first by as much as the chains have it right now. There we go. They moved him a bit more. It looked like he got it.
The previous play is under review.
Now, remember, we've been over this 2 weeks ago as well, Jake. Any tablet on the field is available for the officials to look at. And any of the cameras as well. So each team's pod camera, which is at either end zone that they use for the end zone view of their film, as well as the camera that we have up here that's following the action. So here's the pass. Sable rolls out, yada, 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 backup quarterback for next year. Bendowski there, official on the ground, makes the catch. I mean, he's at the stick right there. So
certainly not seeing anything there in the realm of conclusive evidence.
And at this level, you're not going to because we don't have 30 cameras, especially those that are. I mean, you think about. Let's just compare it to Division I, right? Wherever the first down marker is, there's a pylon there with a camera on it, which would give you conclusive evidence to whether or not he has the ball across the sticks. I'm pretty sure he has the ball across the sticks there, and even if he doesn't, you're not going to be able to see it. Half his body is across the sticks. But hey, if you're Dan Monica, I mean, you're up 31 points. What's challenging a fourth down play?
There's really no harm in losing a timeout.
Yeah, no. I mean, it just practice the process, man. You may have to challenge something that's a little bit closer later on in the season.
We'll stay on the topic of Wadaka, who's just in his second season
it's wild,
as
right?
the head coach, but he's been with the program ever since he was a player in 2010 as the rolling on the field stands.
Sable is right on the sideline pointing first down. Look at that smile. That's great, man. We had a defensive lineman who caught that ball for us. Yeah, it was actually targeting on the play against him. He got hit, targeted, and they overturned it over the halftime break. But we were playing U Chicago when that happened. That was fun.
Now first down and 10. Fakes a screen pass. Now he goes downfield, and the pass is intercepted. And reversing field is Carson Bordeaux, who is across the 30. There is a flag down, and there's a man down for Gettysburg as well.
And I know exactly what happened here.
Bordeaux still running it back. He will make it into the end zone.
Yeah, so that's Sean Clark down on the field. And the flag, well, I didn't see it. I can tell you what happened. He got blocked by somebody, and if the quarterback is not pursuing the play, he is considered defenseless. And so he got blown up by somebody. We're going to watch it here, but this will be an interception that'll come back and no touchdown. Here's the replay. So the play call is an interesting one. You're trying to get a shot play. Clark overthrows it a bit, and he's already down on the field there. So potentially a blindside block, potentially something else. Then another flag comes down on the field that I believe is going to be a hold later in the play that you see down at the 12-yard line right now to the left of that group of officials. But these should both, I believe, be on Johns Hopkins. So illegal block in the back, that's declined. Personal foul against Hopkins is what's going to be accepted. And it'll be first down Hopkins after the interception. But I think if you're a Gettysburg fan, you're wondering and Sean Clark's up and walking, so it looks like he's okay.
Drew Brandstetter, the freshman quarterback who did see action a week ago, he was throwing on the sideline.
If we can get the replay of that last play again, you'll see the route concept and what they're trying to do. Because Clark pumps this throw at first, and you're not going to see it there, but he pumps this throw trying to get the defensive backs to come up and get either Roskim or Wansala on the wheels. And he had Roskim maybe if he throws it to the middle of the field. He goes for Wansala because he sees the window there, that hole shot. And he just overthrows it a bit, and Bordeaux then does his weaving act down the field. Touchdown called back due to penalty, but you're trying to force the ball down the field. I applaud the effort. It's just the execution isn't there.
So after the penalty on the return, the ball is at the Gettysburg 43, first down and 10 for Hopkins. They are in the pistol. It's a give to Schroeder, who has the first down, still fighting forward, looking to get to the 30s, just shy of it.
Ty can stop for Gettysburg.
But another strong run is Hopkins keeping their big guns in the game midway through this third quarter.
Oh, you got to stay sharp. At some point, though, you're going to see these guys get out of here. Because we saw what happened with, let's look back at Christopher Newport early in the year. I know they're still undefeated and ranked, but they had a couple of guys go down with some minor injuries ahead of their bye early this season.
Give again to Schroeder on first down. There is some frustration coming from the Gettysburg sideline.
I'm not sure what happened. Ty Can has his helmet off. He's going to have to come out of the game since there's no flag. I think Gettysburg's saying that it was taken off by a Hopkins player. I don't know if we're going to be able to see that, but Can was the field side safety.
5 yards, second down.
Should be able to get it after this play.
Second down and 5. Swing pass out to the left. That's Moore. He's across the 20. Moore breaking, and he's inside the 10, knocked out of bounds. It's the third catch of the day for Moore.
So this is that previous play. Can is here, filling the hole, and he just gets pancaked. Right? And
I think it's the knee that went down in his helmet that he's upset about.
And that's inadvertent, and then he tries to – yeah, it's inadvertent. I understand why Gettysburg's upset, but the offensive lineman there is not trying to do anything. He's just blocking into the ground, and that's what happens when a big man meets a smaller man in the hole.
Empty set, swing pass. Oh, it's a hook and ladder to the lineman reaching for the pylon,
No.
and he's just shy.
This is another funny story.
That was Michael Nwosu, the senior left tackle.
That is the tackle tunnel screen. I haven't seen that since high school. We ran this, actually, in high school. We had a former rugby player. You're going to watch here. Quick screen, and because the ball is live, he is now eligible to get it from his teammate. We had a rugby player playing right tackle for us in high school. He had just transferred in. I am blanking on his last name. His name was Jared something. And we threw the quick screen to the outside receiver, and he ended up going for a touchdown in one of our games.
Now there's some miscommunication on some substitutions, and Hopkins is into the end zone with Pugliano. This will be a 12-men declined penalty.
Oh, yeah. Gettysburg.
A couple guys running on and then running off halfway.
So touchdown will stand, for Pugliano.
You see it coming from the back of the end zone there, but again, pretty easy for Pugliano, much like Schroeder's touchdowns near this side. His second touchdown of the season.
I'm not going to lie, I would have preferred the tackle, get his first score of the career.
Michael Nwosu, a two-time All-American as well.
Those are the guys that you love giving that sort of play to, because they put in so much time and effort to be that good at that position. I mean, left tackle, so important to any team. You practice that, and the team's like, God, I wonder if we're ever really going to run this. Like, we're doing this. Like, are we ever going to do this? And then you do it in the game, and you're like, big man with the ball, here we go.
Again, he got ever so close, reached for the pylon, was marked just the yard short, but
I think Dan Waddick will tell him you don't reach for the pylon there, just keep it close to your body. Find a coaching point out of something. And Mo Banks looks like he's still appealing to the officials about what happened to Ty Kent. Again, I don't think there's anything there. And I think it was a Nwosu, too, that was on that block. Like, there's nothing in that. Again, big man against littler man in the hole. It drove him to the ground. Perfectly legal block, and it just so happened his body, like, he stumbled getting up.
That drive set up by the INT, 2 minutes and 43 seconds. 5 plays, 43 yards for the Hopkins touchdown. Diaz has trouble with the kickoff initially. Is able to recover. Cuts forward across the 25.
Oh,
and
okay.
Finally the play whistled dead, but
there's a little chippiness going now. Little chippiness on that play that you might have seen there. We don't need to show it, but...
And you hope it doesn't get out of hand. If you recall back to the Christopher Newport game earlier in the season, there was a lot of that through the entirety of the second half, even after the final whistle had gone.
Yeah, and this is not one of those games that's been like that. It's just been the last couple of plays. There's nothing really to be upset about for either team.
Clark is back in the game as well. He gets to Landon Hunt for a strong 9-yard rush.
Well, good to see Clark back in the game. Him on the ground looked worse than it was. It's really just because it's a blindside block and your adrenaline's going, it really knocks the wind out of you there.
Throwing here, looking downfield for Watsala. He's got him inside the 10, and Watsala to the end zone, his second touchdown of the day.
Well, new secondary in there for Hopkins. They're pulling their starters, and Sean Clark takes advantage. Watsala, nice inside move on the backup corner. That's Doherty, Brian Doherty, and he just dusts him and is off to the races. I mean, this Nick Wansala kid, he's only a sophomore. He is electric. And here we go.
Parkskill for the extra point. Snap is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. And it was a quiet first half for this entire receiving corps, but now with Nick Wansala, 3 catches, 82 yards, 2 of them have gone for touchdowns. That one for 62, his second of the day.
Yeah, and we're going to show it again here. Again, just watch him down at the bottom of your screen. Quick swipe inside, beats Doherty, and there's no safety there to help. That's as simple as you can get as a receiver. Quick win with a hand combat and get up the field. You're even, you're leaving, you're gone. And 2 touchdowns for Wansala. Only 3 receptions, too. So the passing game, yes, you can say it's come alive, but it's something you'd like to see more consistency for some, and really just more consistency from this team as a whole to try and stay in a game like this. I know Hopkins is the number 3 team in the nation, and I know that a lot of their backups are in right now. Small wins are small wins. They're great. You want to build to bigger wins if you're Gettysburg, and that's kind of what you're doing now. You're keeping some of the starters that are young guys in. By the way, Parkskill sneaking behind a couple of guys there.
Do you see that?
I wonder if Hopkins sees it. 2 kickers out there. Here he comes. Pooch kick. Smart.
It is fielded on a fair catch. That's Spencer Kramer who fielded it for Hopkins, but you saw.
I know what they're trying to do. Trying to hide Parkskill. Very hard for a guy that tall to hide behind some of his teammates. And trying to sneak a pooch behind Hopkins to steal a possession. They're creative, I'll give them that. They've had a lot of special teams cards to pull, Gettysburg has, but might as well try it, why not?
Austin Carson is the special teams coach for this team, who has definitely shown his creativity these last few times we've seen them here at Musselman Stadium.
And you know what's awesome about that is some of these ideas are coming from the players, I would bet, too. Because these guys are creative dudes. They know the game. I wouldn't be surprised if they come to him with, like, hey, Coach Carson, what do you think about this? And he's like, you know what? That's crazy enough. It might just work. Let's do it.
Dandridge getting the carry that time for Hopkins. Gets about 8. The 82 yards for Wansala today, that'll bring him over the 500-yard mark for the season. Leading receiver on this team. Give to Dandridge again on 2nd down. Spins away from one tackler, and he's brought down to the 32. Now a flag comes in late.
This is going to be something away from the ball. Brahaney and Enright are going at it on this side. I don't think it should be anything in the play. Although, I might be wrong. Let's see. They're walking it back.
It was thrown towards the end of the play by the line judge.
That's why I think it doesn't have anything to do with the actual play. Oh, no, it is a hold. So I'm not sure who. But the lateness of that flag doesn't scream hold to me. It screams, oh, somebody did something stupid. I guess not.
And now a whistle. I think this is just to get the spot right here after the penalty.
I think the chains are just in the wrong spot. There we go. Or fully extended to 10 yards.
All right, back to action. Ball at the 49. Hey, Harvey is conversing.
Just chit-chatting as they get the sticks, right? Little player-official relations. The third team on the field.
It's in the gun on second down. Has time to throw again. Winding up, going downfield, looking for Karate. Jump ball, and it's knocked away. Tyler Wells on the coverage that time. Karate was a little slow to get up, but
it's just the ball that kind of hangs up there a little bit. I know what Bay's trying to do there, but lead him a bit into the end zone. You have a good 10 yards. And if you do, he probably scores. And with Karate walking off, I think that's just, hey, I just ran a long route, had a body land on top of me. Let me get a blow. He deserves it. He's putting a shift today.
6 catches, 168 yards. He's found the end zone twice. Harvey right back to the deep ball. This one is knocked away, but there is a flag. He was looking for more. And it'll be pass interference.
Well, that's a slot receiver against a guy who's listed as an outside linebacker in Alden Harrison. He's DiLorenzo's replacement on the defense. And Harrison, a young guy, he doesn't look for the ball, and there is contact there. But let's take a look. More in the slot. There's Harrison, who's having to track back with him, and this ball gets released. I mean, yeah, there's contact there. So I see the PI. I see it.
Really simply a matter of not turning for the ball. That's what really...
That's exactly it.
Did it that time. It's a handoff once again to Dandridge. Might be the feature back the rest of the way, as, again, Schroeder has put in a great shift on the ground. 13 carries, 87 yards.
And you already have a couple of O-linemen. One that didn't play coming into this game, another one that went down, but looks like he's back in the game right now in Cornacchio. At least I think he's out there.
Brad Dandridge, the freshman from Somerset, New Jersey. Play action, quick hitter to the outside. Pass is caught. That is Enright.
And there's that timing we talked about. It's a quick flash to the back there. By quick flash, I mean quick fake, and the ball is there as Enright comes out of his break.
5th catch of the day for the junior receiver.
Oh, here's our guy. Pink tape, pink socks. There we go.
Number 7, Malik Frost.
Sticks out more than anybody else in the field.
They had dueling number 7s. That was a quick way that we were able to distinguish them. Carter Hogg on defense, the other one.
Well, he's distinguishable by his hair.
Swing out to the right side. Pass is caught by Moore. Hurdles the man as he reaches for the first down marker.
And that's distinguishable from Josh Moore. We said earlier, Hopkins staff calls him explosive. Perfect example right there.
That's, if there was ever a football equivalent of what they call a heat check in basketball, that is
that.
What we just saw from Moore.
Missed out on a couple touchdowns today. Not going to get one here. Let me just jump over you. Pick up the first down. He's fun, man.
They give to Frost running left. Cuts in. Gets to the 7. And they stay in the pistol on second down. 25 seconds to go in this third quarter. Misdirection on the handoff. Pass is high. Incomplete, looking for Bechtel. As Harvey stuck the ball out for the play action to his left. Frost ran right.
It happens, man. It just happens. Frost, interesting guy, by the way. Played at Hampden Sydney for 4 years. 2,000 yards, 25 career touchdowns there. Graduate student giving it a run with Hopkins this year.
To give to Frost, looking for the end zone, and he's in.
That's the experience, man. First one is a J and more flags. That's going to be for after the play, but man, when you have a guy who's rushed for 2,000 yards and 25 touchdowns on your bench, that is a luxury, folks. And he'll open his account in the white and blue of Johns Hopkins. And let's see if we get an explanation as to what this was.
So it's unsportsmanlike against
offsetting on sportsmanlike penalties. That not offsetting, but sounds like Jamie Satrakian was one of the guilty parties.
Snap is down, kick is on its way. Up and good. And with 11 seconds to go in the third, Hopkins sends the lead to 52-14. And their season high in points is 55. They did that October 3rd against Dickinson. They matched their total of points from a week ago. Against Ursinus, it was 52-21 in that game.
Show your support and join the Orange and Blue Club. Please visit ONB on the web at GettysburgSports.com to make a gift or for more information.
So we've seen some explosives from this Gettysburg offense now. Oh, okay. No offsetting penalties. I hear what you're saying now. I apologize. I'm eavesdropping on the conversation happening directly to our right. Not offsetting unsportsmanlike penalties. Satrakian, the guilty party on the unsportsmanlike, and that is why the kickoff's coming from the 50 here. I would assume Caleb Wade's going to be able to boot this out of the back of the end zone unless Hopkins wants to try and pin Gettysburg's offense inside their 10 or 15.
It's been a good day on the returns for Gabriel Diaz.
They've only kicked to Diaz. Kevin Regula has been sitting back there doing a whole lot of blocking.
It's a squib, actually, that Diaz will pick up at the 9. Tries to find space down the right sideline, gets across the 30 before he's cut down. So pretty similar results to what we've seen on Diaz's return. Getting across the 30 to the 33. Probably one final play in this third quarter for Gettysburg. It's play action. Clark rolling out to the left, and the pass is in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. That was Josh Burke, the senior.
Yeah, RPO. If I'm Clark there, I just take that upfield and hold on. The ball a little long, but I only played receiver, so I wanted the ball in my hands. Didn't get it all that much. End of 3, partner.
It's the end of 3. Fourth quarter on the other side. Hopkins 52, Gettysburg 14. You're watching Centennial Conference Digital Network.
Every story has a beginning. Ours is in a place where living history calls us towards an unwritten future.
Yours can too.
At Gettysburg College, you will receive a consequential education.
One that will give you greater insight into who you are,
what you want to accomplish,
and how you will define and lead your own consequential life.
It is here where you can live your promise.
It is here where you can do.
We start the fourth here from Musselman Stadium. Sean Clark in the shotgun. 2nd down and 10. With Landon Hunt to his left. Rolling out to the left on the first play of the quarter. Throwing and cannot connect with Nick Wansala. And Brendan, we have a very interesting score update, an interesting final in the Centennial.
We'll get to that in a second. Let's just take you through what's happening currently in action. Dickinson has turned on the gas. They lead by 10, 23-13 over McDaniel, heading into the fourth quarter. Franklin and Marshall all over Ursinus, 38-7 also in the fourth. Big thing you were talking about, Muhlenberg scoring 20 points in the fourth quarter and blanking number 16 Carnegie Mellon in that frame to take a 27-23 upset win. That's going to shake up the conference and rankings a little bit.
Sean Clark is knocked down. He broke out a 1 sack attempt, but could not escape the second.
Talk about getting shaken up. You called it right, Jake. He got out of 1 tackle and found 2 more J's in his face.
Sawyer Olson was the one that got to him. Muhlenberg is actually who Gettysburg will face in our final football broadcast of the season. Senior Day coming at you 2 weeks from today. Van Arsdale gets the punt away. We fielded at the 36. Some room down the right sideline here for the Jays to go for finally pushed out of bounds, Alex Orecchio.
Let's finish up that out-of-town scoreboard for you as well. A couple of exciting ranked games as well. Hope and Adrian in a 1-point game. 2 minutes to play in that one. Salisbury and Rowan going into the fourth, tied at 21. What else we got here? Wheaton, Wash U was 21-17 at halftime. It's that time of year, friend, where you have a lot of really good teams playing a lot of other really good teams and shaking up with a potential playoff field. That'll be set a little over a month from now.
New quarterback into the game, Luke Baker for Hopkins. Gives up the middle on first down and brought down for a short gain, Dandridge.
Well, let's wrap up Bay Harvey's day, shall we? 23-29, 395, 3 touchdowns. I'm sure he's going to get some why didn't you hit 4 bills this week. Again, his rushing yards he did. Total 410 yards of offense from him today.
In just 3 quarters of work. Baker pumps once. Now he's rolled out, and he is brought down. Greg Jean.
Well, let's take a look at Mr. Jean here. Just kind of beat his man around the edge.
Well, 3rd down and long now.
Free play.
Free play. Baker has time, throws over the middle. Catch is made. Spinning down, he's got his man. That is Alex Orecchio.
Let's see if they decide to take this. Orecchio short. the line to gain? Do you decide, hey, let's take the penalty and give another go on 3rd and long, or you want to go for 4th and 1? They decline the penalty, so they want to go 4th and 1.
Luke Baker, the sophomore from San Ramon, California, actually transferred in from Sacramento State.
Penalties decline, halting plays at Johns Hopkins, first down.
Potentially an audition for him for next season. Saw 2 games for Sacramento State a year ago. Flag comes in from the Gettysburg sideline on a first down handoff.
Illegal formation.
Another thing that stands out about this Hopkins team is just where this team comes from. They have
all over, man.
Players from 24 states. Bay Harvey from Switzerland. So bringing them in from all over the nation, all over the world. Quick hitter over the middle. That's Orecchio again. Shakes one man and falls down shy of the 10. It's actually the 3rd game this season that Baker will see action in for Hopkins. It's 2 of 4 against Dickinson a few weeks ago. Give to Dandridge. He'll be inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Hopkins, if they can get into the end zone here, will top their season high for points in a game. Let's give to Dandridge, running left, reaching for the end zone, and he's in. Scampered away from a tackler and snuck in. Hopkins into the end zone again.
Johns Hopkins touchdown.
It is just the speed on display. As you said, he got to the edge, and then the short area quickness to keep himself in bounds after taking some contact and shuffling really into the corner of the end zone. A wide handoff left. I mean, there's defenders there. Edge is set for the most part. He just sneaks outside, got through an arm tackle, and pay dirt for the Jays, 58. Going on 59.
Kick is up and good. 5 rushing touchdowns for the Jays in this one.
Johns Hopkins 59, Gettysburg 14.
To stay on the topic of relatively efficient drives, 7 plays, 34 yards, 3 minutes, 26 seconds for the touchdown. There's only been one Hopkins drive this game that has not resulted in points. That was the stop at the 6-yard line for the Bullets, coming late in the first half. Boot fielded by Diaz at the 2. Tries to find space on the right side. He'll be stopped shy of the 25-yard line. Fall sports are coming down to the wire here in the battlefield. Field hockey returns to Shirk Field for the final 2 conference games of the season next week. Johns Hopkins is here on Wednesday, and Bryn Mawr comes to town on Saturday. Both games are a 6 o'clock start. Corey Jewart is here Wednesday, and Brendan will have Saturday's finale. Brandstatter is into the game at quarterback for the Bullets. He's in the shotgun and hands it off on first down. It's Regula who gets the carry to finish off our fall slate that we were mentioning. Next weekend, swimming kicks off on Friday night. There's another handoff on second down. And Saturday, we start the Conference Cross Country Championships and wrap it up with a soccer twin bill. It's all right here on GettysburgSports.com on the Centennial Conference Digital Network. Of course, our final football broadcast 2 weeks from now, as the Bulls will host Muhlenberg. Give again up the middle, enough for the first down. Regula, we saw a couple weeks ago block a punt that resulted in a Gettysburg touchdown.
He did it all on that play. Oh, with Brandstatter in the game, let's wrap up Clark's day, 7 of 19. 2 touchdowns in that pick. Not an efficient day, salvaged, I guess you could say, by the 2 touchdowns. But with Sean Clark, I'm assuming his expectations of himself are a lot higher than what he put out there.
Brandstatter rolling, and he's brought down on the sideline.
Brandstatter sack number 47.
Cole Stupp that time got to him for the Jays. And Regula talked about Landon Hunt. He's another freshman running back who is getting an opportunity to get some reps in and turn some heads moving into next season.
Oh, and he's been a core special teamer throughout the latter stages of this season. We saw him back there 2 return kicks throughout today. We obviously know his prowess on the punt block team.
Returned a couple of kicks last week as well against Carnegie Mellon. This is the first extended run we'll likely see from him. He got 2 carries a week ago, also caught a pass for 8 yards. Bullets in the gun on 3rd down and 6. Brandstatter has to step up, keeps it himself, dives forward, and he will just have enough for the first down as he crosses the 45.
Well, Brandstatter seems like more the guy who wants to take off and run it. Some happy feet in the pocket over the last couple of plays where they asked him to throw. I want to see what he does when he has time.
From Camp Hill, PA, play action, rolling out to his right, and again has to tuck it down, but he will lose a few on this one. Last week saw action against Carnegie Mellon, was 5 of 8, 45 yards, and also threw a pair of touchdowns. But he's been tested, had to move his feet a lot. Gets to Regula, who runs right into a brick wall.
Regula on the carry. Moustakis and Stupp on the stop for Hopkins.
Stupp and Moustakis for Hopkins making that tackle. 3rd down and 12. Just under 6 minutes to go in this one. Dropping back, stepping up again, throwing down the right side, and he's got Diaz, who makes the catch, makes one man miss. Now he cuts inside. Diaz will go to the end zone for the touchdown. 3rd touchdown pass of the year for Brandstetter in the past 2 weeks. And this time it's Diaz, who got his touchdown negated earlier in the game, who makes the catch on the far side and then shows that open field running ability.
Well, Diaz gets kind of lost in coverage here. He's behind his defender, who's trying to recover when Brandstetter lets this ball go, and then just the speed. And you see that it's that same niftiness he has in the return game where he finds the seam and just kind of the change of direction is not hard for Gabriel Diaz, and he showed it off there and found his way into the end zone. Couple of deep shots, yes, against the backup secondary, but it shows that these receivers are still potent against really good players. That's who Hopkins has, really good players throughout their roster.
Kick is up and good, and touchdown for Diaz, his 2nd of the year. And talk about his speed. He was not only a standout on the football field in Winter Park, Florida, but a track star as well. Part of record-setting teams in the 4x1 and the 4x400.
I can see that. You wonder if he'll be lacing the spikes up this spring as well on the Gettysburg track teams.
Again, Brandstetter, 2nd week in a row that he'll see extended action. Threw 2 touchdowns a week ago against Carnegie Mellon. He's an all-state quarterback in Camp Hill. Short kick here is fielded by the up man at the 30-yard line.
Catch for the Blue Jays.
It's the point of the game now where it's guys on both sides looking to make impressions for not only the final few games of this year, but next season and beyond. A couple of young quarterbacks in the game on either side. It's another new quarterback into the game for Hopkins. It's the senior from Frisco, Texas, Ethan Lawler. Takes the snap, throwing deep down the far sideline, and the pass is incomplete. That time he was looking for Penn Riney.
Well, Lawler is not necessarily going to see a ton of action this season as we head down the stretch, but Coach Dan Wadicka, you're giving a senior who's given so much to your program little time to enjoy himself, go out there, sling the ball around a bit.
5 completions for 65 yards this season. Swings it out to the left, and it's incomplete. Bit of an overthrow on the swing route. He was looking for Jacob Peary.
It's 3rd down.
Joey Steinberg also into the game at running back. Lawler drops back on third down. Flush out to his left, and he's brought down.
Lawler sack number 47.
And it's Scott Sable.
He's stuffing the stat sheet today, man. Completed pass, now a sack. All right, Scott.
It's not. I think it'd be hard pressed to find many stat lines that include both of those.
Not at this level. Though you wonder. I saw this post earlier this week of quarterbacks that have played quarterback in recent years, and like Kendall Hinton was on there for the Broncos when COVID was really taking over the athletics landscape a couple years ago. One of them, though, was that linebacker from Maryland that had to suit up for a couple of games because all of their quarterbacks were hurt. I am blanking on his name, but I would assume he might have had a sack, and probably not in one game. But
he was throwing passes to Stephon Diggs at the time.
He was. I don't think they won many games with him at quarterback. It looks like you're looking up his name right now.
I was just talking about how they've come a long way with Malik Washington now being one of the best.
Oh, yeah, the Terps. Bit of a
freshman in the nation.
Bit of a rough patch for them right now, though.
So Sean Petty was his name.
Thank you.
Back in 2012.
God, that was it really 13 years ago?
Here's a strong run up the middle. That was Beidelman.
Hey, he came into the year pressing to be the number 2 back. Was listed as it for a while. We heard that Hunt was really the guy for that position, so we haven't seen a lot of Beidelman, but a nice little burst there. Shorter in stature, harder to see for the defensive line behind those big uglies up front. Oh,
it's hit hard here. Gets maybe a yard.
Cole Stupp on the tackle for the Blue Jays.
Fair to say that we will likely be able to close the book on both Zrelak and Landon Hunt today, as we'll get you their lines in just a moment after this play. Give to Beidelman again, running right up the middle. And he will be stopped just about a yard short for Zrelak, who was the feature back for the early portion of the game. 11 carries, 57 yards. Landon Hunt, 10 carries, 75 yards.
I mean, both efficient. The run game is what Gettysburg really has to lead with. Because, well, yes, they have talented receivers. You have the trigger man to get the ball to them right now. Now, after an offseason of work between Sean Clark and these guys, maybe things are different. But right now,
the ball is on the ground, and Hopkins says they have it. And they do.
Full recovery by Johns Hopkins. Wyatt Davis on the full recovery for the Blue Jays.
And it was Davis who came away with it for the Jays.
Oh, we couldn't see it from up here. It was on the opposite side of that big pile. And Wyatt Davis ends up being I think what's more telling, though, is the group of players and teammates that came out to greet him. The starters have been out of this game for a while for Johns Hopkins. They have not been disengaged. I mean, they are on the sideline yelling, hooting, and hollering for these guys that have run scout team all season, that have backed them up all season. It's fun to watch, honestly. I mean, just look at that. Yes, you have some guys off to the side there to the right, but that big just group of white jerseys that's just sitting there watching these guys go out there.
The previous play is under review.
And we're going to review this play now. Okay.
Another case of nothing to lose. 2:47 to go in this game.
Yeah, you might as well. I would. Your best bet at getting this one overturned, I guess, would be one of the pod cams, because we couldn't see anything from up here.
Our only way of really telling the ball was loose was the Hopkins reaction. we'll see what we're able to get. Well, we have a moment. We'll talk about what's on deck for Gettysburg the rest of the way. This loss will see them fall to 0-7. Next week they will go to Ursinus, 1 p.m. start, and then we'll be back here for Senior Day against Muhlenberg, Saturday, November 8th. That'll start at 1 p.m. Of course, we'll have the Bullets tailgate show for you about 25 minutes prior to kickoff, and then we'll hit the road to go to Westminster to face the Green Terror of McDaniel in the final game of this 2025 season. Meanwhile, for Hopkins, they'll hit the road to face Muhlenberg next week before hosting McDaniel, and their final game of the season will be at F&M on November 15th.
Oh, giving you some more of the out-of-town scoreboard here. Cortland defeats St. John Fisher. They are ranked 22. Hope got a late field goal to take down Adrian over in Michigan. Salisbury survives Rowan. Christopher Newport rolls. And there are other games in progress that you can check out as well. Been paying attention to this WashU-Wheaton game. A little bit 21-17 Thunder up on the Bears right now.
Coleman Field was upheld. So Hopkins will take over. Again, 2:47 to go in this one. Give on first down and 10. Another strong run. Joey Steinberg, the sophomore. Native of Minnesota, to add to the geographic range of this Hopkins team. Again, this will be the 17th win for Hopkins over Gettysburg. I'll chew as much of this clock as they can as we head to the 2-minute warning. So we will take one final break and have the final moments of this game for you on the other side. It's Hopkins 59, Gettysburg 21. You're watching the Centennial Conference Digital Network.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Two minutes remaining in this one between Hopkins and Gettysburg. The third-ranked Blue Jays looking like they're on their way to their 7th consecutive victory to start the year. Gettysburg, who knew they were going to have an uphill battle in this one, will fall to 0-7. There are some bright spots you can look at in this game. Of course, the running game strong as ever, but you're also seeing some young guys and guys that will be here next year trying to make a name for themselves. Here's another handoff on second down.
Hey, you mentioned the young guys. I mean, the obvious ones, Landon Hunt, Nick Wansala, who, yes, he's a young guy, but he's been a constant in this offense all season long. Landon has really just come on as of late. And then I think Gabriel Diaz qualifies as one of the younger guys and hadn't seen a ton of time, but he's slowly increased his role on both special teams and on the offensive side of things. And you just hope that they, along with the rest of this team, get these seniors a win at some point. That given the nature of the Centennial, I think we both have an idea of when their best chance will come to get that.
Give here And plenty of running room down the left side, finally brought down. Jerry Steinberg, the back that will close out this game for the Jays as we get to the 60-second mark.
And I'll just say this for Hopkins as well. They are a very balanced team. And I think that is, among the different accolades you can give somebody, it is probably one of the biggest. I mean, you look at the two teams that are above them in the rankings right now. North Central pounding Augustana. North Central has been the class of Division III for the better part of a decade now. And then Mount Union is a team that I think this Hopkins team would like to see again, given how last year ended a close game at Mount Union's place. As close as that game was, they didn't have Bay Harvey in that game. And Bay Harvey has looked the part today.
National semifinals, a place that you could very likely see this Hopkins team in, as the final play of the game has been run.
You got to finish your business, though, during the regular season. And today's the indication. We talked about at the top how they've been tested. They had that comeback win at Carnegie Mellon. And since then, they really haven't looked back. This is another example of that. I know the level of competition, and this is no disrespect to Gettysburg, they're not there yet. They're not on Hopkins level. But you're seeing signs of a team that dominates teams they're supposed to dominate and then can compete with that top echelon of Division III, the Mount Unions, the North Centrals. Hopkins is there.
So Hopkins will move to 7-0, 4-0 in the Centennial. Gettysburg drops to 0-7, 0-4 in the conference. Before we send you on your way to enjoy the rest of your Saturday, we will go over some of the final stats for Hopkins. I think if there is a player of the game, you have to give it to Bay Harvey. 23 of 29, 395 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, wasn't sacked at all. That was just in 3 quarters of work.
Offense, just in general, it was not in short supply for Johns Hopkins, and they could have had more. They had a couple of near misses, and I mean very near misses. A yard under 600 of total offense today. That is impressive no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing. And defensively, they started rotating guys out in the second half, but dominance does not show how good the defense was today.
Jeff Schroeder, 13 carries, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns. For Gettysburg, Sean Clark was an early exit for him. He was 7 of 19, threw 2 touchdowns, did throw an interception, 109 yards. Brandstetter came in through the 56-yard touchdown to Gabriel Diaz, and then leading receiver for Gettysburg, as he's been all season, Nick Wansala, 3 catches, 82 yards, and 2 touchdowns. As Brendan said, 69 plays, 599 yards of total offense for Hopkins. For Gettysburg, 58 plays, 357 yards. Pretty even split for Gettysburg, 173 in the air, 184 on the ground. For Hopkins, it was 424 in the air, 175 on the ground, but balanced, as you said. Gettysburg next week will head to Ursinus. That's a 1 o'clock start, and then 2 weeks from now, Brendan and I will be back with you for Senior Day here at Musselman Stadium. They will face Muhlenberg. Again, that is a 1 o'clock start. We'll have the Bullets tailgate show for you at about 12:35. Brendan, any final words before we send everyone off?
We'll stick with Gettysburg because we are calling this game for Gettysburg. I feel like you're not there yet, but you're really, really close with Sean Clark. You just need a little more consistency in the passing game, and that takes time. That takes reps with all these guys. I don't know how many reps he got over the preseason with a guy like Nick Wansala or Jason Roskin. But he probably got more than a few with Gabriel Diaz because Diaz wasn't starting at the start of the season. You wonder what this is going to look like a couple of weeks from now when we see them again on Senior Day. Because if they get a little more consistency on the offensive end, that makes them more dangerous on third and mediums, on third and longs, and it allows them to extend drives that they couldn't extend today. When were they able to extend drives today? When the box was light because, hey, Hopkins is parking the bus and we're running the ball up their throat with Landon Hunter, Michael Zrelak. Can you do that in the game from the very start? Yes, run the ball up their throats, but then on top of that, complete the third and mediums, third and longs to keep those drives alive and score some points early in this game to put your foot on the gas and put some pressure on your opponent. We'll see what they do next week, and we'll see what they do against Muhlenberg 2 weeks from now. If they can do that, maybe they can steal a couple wins to end the season, go into the offseason with something positive.
Absolutely, and it seems like every game we've seen, it's been a little mistake here, a little mistake there that's cost them. It hasn't been just completely overmatched necessarily. They've shown that they can stick in games and throw their best at some of these good teams.
I caution you staying stick with these teams because a lot of times there is a gap built up. Let's take today. It was 28-0 before. 31-0, and then we got to the second half. Gettysburg scored against some backup secondary guys. Carnegie Mellon, those runs that these teams go on where they score 2 or 3 times before Gettysburg answers, it's those problems, and it's not necessarily. It's not the defense's fault. It's everybody's collective issue to deal with. The offense has to stay on the field so the defense rests. If the defense can't rest, they're tired going back onto the field and more susceptible to giving up big plays and points. So it's football, man. It's a team sport. It's the ultimate team sport. If one unit doesn't do its job, it affects the other unit adversely. As long as you can mesh those two together, you can be competitive. Today, I think, is the outlier, top 3 team in the nation. I don't think anybody came in here expecting Gettysburg to win. If they would have kept it close, that would have been impressive, and they weren't able to do that today. They were able to put up some points in the second half. That's good. You have something positive to think about going into next week, but it's only something positive to think about. The ultimate positive is winning, and I'll say that time and time again. You want to win.
So that'll do it for us here this afternoon from the battlefield. Again, Hopkins 59, Gettysburg 21. Thank you to everyone who tuned in, and thank you to our entire crew who made this broadcast possible. The next time we will talk to you here from Musselman Stadium 2 weeks from today for Senior Day, as the Bullets will host Muhlenberg. Jake Ness, Brendan Hodges signing off. You've been watching Bullets Football, a production of Gettysburg College Athletics on GettysburgSports.com, part of the Centennial Conference Digital Network.